Nothing.
You know who doesn't kill spiders? Learn.
We're not talking about you right this second.
Doug's had enough.
I've got hair that people would die to have.
Martha White makes very good muffin mix.
Exploding colons.
I believe the fingering is the same.
When he says I'm diddling myself.
He's got a big blowhole.
But he's trying to pound Jackson.
The guy who actually took the first poop, how, he reacted, and did he squat?
You spend 15 minutes of it talking about Merkins. It's like one of your favorite topics for some reason. And every time you bring it up, once a week on the show, you start talking about Spartacus. It's like the same conversation that you have with yourself. No one even listens.
There's really nothing to talk about.
I got to tell you, pretty much viewing-wise, I'm now just down to girl.
Well, we all like Brian.
She washed my balls, things like that.
And when I had my pants off, that's when Plowsy walked in.
What?
I think me and Iggy brought up a great topic of how weird it is for someone to get to page 12 or 13 on Pornhub. You know what I mean?
I've gone to page 24 before trying to find something I haven't seen before.
Oh, okay.
Patrick Reed's a scrub.
And right in front of it is a Red Lobster.
It's some hideous article that Jackson found and he sent just to upset us.
Oh, here comes Ezekiel.
Now, if somebody would call in and say, Iggy, you're nothing without Tim, I'd have to agree. I wouldn't go on a tirade. I'd say, you're right.
2 days ago, I did. I felt a little prick.
His wife is dripping for Tim.
It was on TV of some kind.
Vince Vaughn entrails?
Boy, I'd really love to go hoe chasing tonight.
He's already given up on missionary.
Oh, and doggy. You would have 2 hands and a mouth available.
That's ass to mouth, right?
Iggy, can we find somebody to talk pap smear today?
I certainly wouldn't be known as a flute leaker.
Do you know I kept score for Elvin Metzger's final 300?
Boy, that'd be a killer threesome in the middle of the lineup.
I was cucked in the moment.
I got a podcast that's in the top 50 in every country on the planet.
I'm a hag. You just go into that big hole. We just talked about taking a dump.
Okay.
May I swallow?
Well, every time I tee it up, I got a chance.
You know.
I gave Pepper and Jeannie a chance last week. 22 and a half minutes of pube talk.
That was Iggy's Drops of the Week.
Randy Carricker with the home loan expert, Ryan Kelly. And Ryan, we see prices going up all around us, but that means the price of our home is going up, and that means we can get more out in a cash-out refi.
Absolutely. In fact, besides purchases, the cash-out refinance is the most popular loan we're doing right now. Folks are nervous. They're out there. They're working hard. They're bringing home their paychecks, but they're just not going as far. And then about the time you pay all those bills, they're back in the mailbox. And then before you know it, it feels like you're just working to pay the bills. And heck, I'm talking to people nonstop where it's like, it's not even that, Ryan. We have to decide which bills we're actually going to pay because between gas and groceries and this and that, there isn't enough money throughout the month. Well, the good news is for homeowners, your home has never been worth more. Right? So your equity position, the amount of equity you have has grown as well. And you don't have to sell to cash out. With a cash out refinance, we can get you into a better loan and pull that equity out and give it to you at closing. In fact, our average client received $54,000 at closing. Let's get you set up today. Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and I still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You are listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios. Welcome to the Munganess St. Louis Acura Burkhardt Munganess. Or is it Munganess Burkhardt, Doug?
I believe it's Munganess Burkhardt.
Alton Toyota.
Yeah.
7 o'clock hour. Come on in, friends. The water is warm, and I mean it is warm. It is a perfect temperature to get in.
Well, the water might be, but the temperature outside is a little chilly. mid-40s? I'm not ready for this.
It's going to be 80s, according to the texters yesterday, and they are looking forward to it because they think that will prove Iggy wrong. But Iggy is confident that it is not going to get to the 80s. So, Doug, take that.
You don't think it is?
No, 70s.
Okay,
High
I
70s.
see Wednesday and Thursday, 80, 81 for the high.
Well.
But with the low of like 43.
Have they ever been wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, you're wrong quite a bit.
No, have they ever been wrong?
Oh.
Quite a bit is right.
Well, no, they're pretty much spot on. At least we get a heads up from them.
Well, at least it's still in the 70s. We're in October, so.
Yeah. No complaints in the big picture for sure. This has been the best stretch of weather we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
I've had my windows open for 2 weeks, week and a half.
Yeah.
Been great. Although it is super chilly in the morning, man.
The other day, has anybody ever done this? I don't think I've ever done it. But it was such a fluctuation that I got up in the morning and I turned my heat on to get the chill out of the air for about an hour. Then I turned the heat off. Then at about noon, I opened the windows. And then at about 3, I turned the AC on.
Oh, sure.
I did all 3 things in one day.
Well.
Heat, windows, air conditioning.
Yeah. That happens this time of year.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Really?
Fall time is here.
Oh, I don't turn the heat on until about December.
Well, we've got some cold days in November, though, usually. I've
It's above.
Thanksgivings that have been very cold.
I had Design Air over at the house yesterday to get that furnace tuned up.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a
Old
good
camp.
idea.
Got to do it.
Everyone should do that.
Takes about 24 seconds. That's what I timed it out to. And I went to designairservice.com. Doug is a client. I'm a client. Say, friends, why don't you get your furnace tuned up at this time of year? Because then when it gets cold, the thing is ready to go throughout the St. Louis winter. Work with Seth Goldcamp and his team of service technicians at Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. That's what I did. I clicked on book now, and then the next thing I know, I'm all set up. And it's already taken care of. Design Air Heating and Cooling, sponsor of our email of the day, the official HVAC provider of the Tim McKernan Show podcast and the Ryan Kelly Morning After. It is Design Air Heating and Cooling. Speaking of my podcast, Mark Mantovani is going to be in studio today on the podcast.
Who is he?
And we'll be talking it over with him for the podcast proper. So that will be up at some point. And you are welcome to get involved on the program, 314-881-TMA5. That's the Engineered Design Facilities text inbox. You're welcome to call in using the Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone line, 636-9004-TMA. And you're welcome to email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Kevin Miller won in September. He started October strong. He is your leader through one day of the October Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the month standings. Fun to see a guy performing at a high level at this point in his career.
Very similar to Albert Pujols.
I was going to draw the parallel and then segue into the Cardinals. God, you can't teach the stuff. You can't teach it.
Well, great minds think alike.
Amen.
Very, very similar to a guy you think he's on his last legs.
Mm-hmm.
You think he doesn't even have the energy to propose to the girl that he's been engaged to for 15 years now. And yet he comes up here late and finds the legs, finds the strength in his body to write some decent emails and win himself a little something.
Well, he's taken the same approach that a lot of our winners have. He turned gay.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
He turned to the gay email.
Oh.
With a boyfriend and mud and that's a recipe for success on the show.
That's what he's done.
You've read it.
I didn't even notice that, though. I just listened to the name that he calls himself at the end. That usually wins it for me.
Well, it goes in cycles.
He's had a nice little run, this veteran.
It used to be wanting to get into your pants was a winner.
Oh.
Then it was trashing me would be a winner, and now it's gone back to gay. I mean, I don't mind the touch of a gentleman.
See?
Well,
Maybe he should have asked to get into your trousers.
Politely asking when the Darren running video will be available. That's from Caller Ellen. Doug, I like that.
Yeah,
because then you have in the YouTube chat, what happened to the Darren running video with the Plowsy Mile run? And that, to me, now you do tell me, Doug, we've been doing this a combined 76 years?
I believe so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, 76 years. Caller Ellen phrasing it, politely asking when the Darren running video will be available.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sense that as different as what happened to Plowsy's mile run?
I don't know if it's aggressive enough. I think
Aggressive enough.
Yeah, Ellen's more polite, which I appreciate, but I don't think.
Because what happened insinuates that the hell you guys doing yet again, as if it's just like this clueless operation.
Anything about
So,
it.
so I appreciate caller Ellen's tone. It's how you would interact with a human being in person. And the answer to the question is it took place on Thursday, and there is a production team here. And Jackson, you were in the meeting yesterday with me and Jesse Kioski and Tommy Mattern. Did they give a day? I don't know if they gave a day when it would be.
No, they didn't give a specific day, but the video production team is incredible, and they turn things around fairly quickly. So soon, definitely soon, but I don't have a concrete day for folks.
Mike's apologizing in the YouTube chat, and I appreciate it, Mike, but I'm just trying to convey the differences and how people will sometimes communicate on social media versus if they were to interact in person. And I'm happy to give the answer. I'm always happy to give the answers, unless it involves some kind of behind-the-scenes or contract situation that we've been asked not to talk about.
The paper will take care of that for you.
Yeah, the newspaper will be all over it.
Oh, yeah, I think Caesar called me for a quote.
Yeah, on where you're running videos?
Yeah.
In the meantime, it's all a secret how it turned out.
Well,
we can only say it was the most dramatic event we've held yet.
I was super sore afterwards, and it made me realize I need to get in better shape.
So, so are you working out now?
I actually joined the Y.
Oh, that's right.
And I went yesterday.
You look bigger. You look
no,
like
I'm not.
up.
I'm doing more cardio fit. I'm not hitting the weights just yet. So did a little bit of the Stairmaster.
Did you?
Yeah, did about an hour of the treadmill and did about a half hour of the. What do they call those things?
What do they call?
Ellipticals. Thank you. The name.
Escaped
my
you.
mind there. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, it was fun. Burned a lot of calories.
You tracking your calories burned, bro?
They actually had the machines check can calculate
I'm not sure
your
about the
heart
accuracy
rate.
of that.
Well, I get that. The calories especially because it's just the motion.
Because it depends on a variety of factors, and specifically the individual, certainly.
You're worried about calories as I look over there with a Dr. Pepper, a bag of mini donuts, and
it does seem like you're tracking them closely as far as intake goes.
I would say maybe work on your strength rather than I mean, you're thin as can be. I wouldn't worry about losing weight.
I wouldn't even know where to begin with.
He just wants to get more lithe and have a better
can't be
respiratory system.
Or sinewy.
Would you describe yourself? You're probably not skinny fat because you don't have the fat to be skinny fat.
No, I'm straight skinny.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Which
Stick
is super
figure
weird.
skinny.
I would say, yeah, that's accurate, Doug.
See, the thing is that you have the body with no fat that if you did certain type of weights, you could get ripped.
Yeah, because I would be toned pretty quick, so I don't have to turn fat into muscle. I can turn nothing into muscle.
Right. So maybe you need to do weight work more than cardio.
I'll have Madison spot me.
Well, no, I'm not saying you need to lift as much as you possibly can.
Kidding.
Just something you can handle with repetition.
Yeah, that was the mess I had. That's what caused me to injure my shoulder. I feel badly because I was on probably the podcast more than the radio talking about this. Doug, what was it? Bigger, leaner, stronger? Was that what it's called?
You would have been Mr. Olympia by now.
I didn't want to say it.
Maybe
but
2-3
you said
times.
it, and that took care of it for me. No, it was a program, and the program was, and it did work, to lift high weights as far as the, but low reps. So a higher weight, low reps. And I think that might be wonderful if you're in your late teens, 20s, and part of your 30s, but I hurt my shoulder like 5 years ago, so I'm right around 40 doing this.
Slap tear.
And I look back on it, I'm lucky that that's all I had, because with what I was deadlifting in particular, that's a back injury waiting to happen. Yeah. And then I would run at like 9 on the treadmill on intervals, and you make one false move, and I'm shooting off to Texas and probably blowing out my knee or something like that. So, the lower weight, higher rep at a certain age is probably the play, with the benefit of hindsight. So I would like to apologize to all of those of you who had orthopedic surgery because of my pimping the bigger, leaner, stronger thing, which, for the record, I didn't receive $1 for. It's a book I read, and it did work. Now, if you're in your 20s, God bless. But once you're in your late 30s or 40s,
But you still want to start with manageable weights.
Well, I
you
tried
don't
to
see how heavy I can lift right away.
What was that, 100-pound dumbbell?
Oh, did you do that?
No, God,
It was 20, I think. You didn't get up.
No,
You didn't lift
no,
20 pounds?
No, I did 100 and then I tried the 50. I think it was.
Yeah.
And it probably wasn't the best idea. But yeah, I was pretty happy with myself just actually doing something.
But yeah, you don't want to max out at the beginning. You want to build up to
This is interesting. Plowboy, you could bench press Mr. Licks because his father-in-law says he's nothing but dead weight. That's from the Worse and What's Wacko and Doug. We're underway at 7:18.
And we got Carlin material over here.
Carlin material. Plowsy, I'll give you an intro session. I'm a trainer, and one of the drums where I train is the YMCA. You like that, Doug? One of the drums?
No, I don't like that. What do you mean drums?
I like that. I mean,
I don't like it.
I really don't want to pay for a trainer, but if I could just get some minor pointers in terms of, the level I should start, kind of should I do every other day, should be a leg day scenario. I'm new to all of this.
Then you can have posts on social media where you simply
say gains.
Leg day, much needed.
There will never be a body post of any kind from me.
If we have anybody in the audience who posts about hashtag gains or their workout day or leg day, Doug?
Yeah, much needed.
I want to, if I can, I want to understand it. That's all.
Dig me.
Well, I know, but I want to hear because that's what we think. That's what you and I think. I don't want to speak for Doug, the Plowhawk, or Action Jackson. But it's like the 26.2. I think it's like if you're at a quality private school. I just feel like it's a straight brag. But maybe I'm off the mark.
Now the difference would be is if you were really, really overweight.
That's the ones I think.
And then went on a regiment to kind of like Stingray did, where, okay, today I did legs and I've lost 20 pounds. I mean, I kind of get that because you're helping.
That can inspire
other
people
people
who might be in
to,
the same
to do
camp.
that. I get that. But if you're already ripped and you've been that ripped, leg day, look at these
at that
thighs.
point, you're not on board.
Yeah, then it's dig me. But to each their own.
Dude, like I was doing the elliptical and all of a sudden at some point I was going backwards. I didn't know how those things are hard to use, man.
Well, they're good because you don't put a lot of pressure on your joints, ankles, knees, hips, but you're not old enough to really worry too much about that.
No.
I just think as thin as you are, you don't need the cardio, you need the strength, the weight work.
I think I would agree with you.
Because that burns calories too, of course.
But I just kind of wanted to get my feet wet for my first go-around.
Yeah.
Caller Ellen says, thank you for your timely reply. Doug, this is this is like we're at the Palace in England.
Yeah.
And
But the
everybody's communicating.
The video's coming soon, I would think.
And there was some good content. I thought my outfit
there
was
is.
appropriate.
It's out of our. There's a production team here.
Well, there's a lot of editing because it wasn't just like the golf video was simple. I took 9 shots, you filmed it, we're done.
Right.
But with Plowsy, the car was going back and forth, and then with the route he was running, the car had to go around and go
There's
catch
a lot
him.
of
So a lot of editing.
So, but I mean, how many cameras were there? At least 2. And when we have the match with Nagel, which is penciled in for a week from tomorrow, it's not like that will be up that night. There is, there's just production that goes into it. So that's all. It's a fair question. Totally understand.
Yeah. People are on pins and needles wondering if he made it.
Yeah.
He ran this 8-minute mile.
I like how they mic'd me up so they could just hear the wheezing.
The groaning.
Just the pain via audio is super. Right. That's a good get.
Good morning, Doug. Politely asking if I can get my face wet with your seed. Thanks for your prompt reply. That's from Brian Henson. He covers the Colts.
Brian Henson just got himself suspended from covering the Colts. He is no longer eligible for an NFL credential, and he's been suspended a period of 2 days' time. His name right now is going into the suspension logule. That won't feel real good.
Maybe he should just go right for Zane. Zach Zane.
Because he's working blue now.
Yeah, I mean,
now he's working blue.
His emails are all about gay sex with you, so
it's odd.
That's what Zane's writing about.
I don't know if Zane's in the proper place to be hiring employees.
Well, he's got that paywall.
Mr. Licks has responded. Or no, this is, I guess, not about Orson with Wacko. Doug, there was a lot of wars with the texters and callers.
I know.
Politely asking when Pepper and Jeannie will have a new open. It's been a month. Based on yesterday, it sounds like you're still just talking about it hypothetically, as if you haven't really started on it yet. Thank you. That's from Mr. Licks.
Here's a couple things about that. One, like, our open is great now, so there's no rush to get an open.
Boy, it is a wonderful open.
Yeah, and like it's not sponsored, so we're not trying to add in sponsors.
So this is just a passion project for you guys.
100%. Couldn't have said it better myself, Tim. This is a passion
Way to
project.
say it, Tim.
And you know, me and Iggy, we have that work ethic that sometimes it may take a month, but the idea is there, and that's half the battle.
Here's a guy that trashes the show every day, and now he's bitching because the open we talk about is not. God Almighty! The open will be better than the show, and we'll get to it eventually.
I mean, we're getting so many kind now texts, Doug. I mean, just what a change in dialogue. I think we've civilized society in this Munganist 7 o'clock
advanced.
out. Mr. Lick says, I'm politely also asking when Warson Woods Wacko will have enough money to join an actual club instead of one that accepts Vianney grads. That's from Mr. Lick.
That's not right. That's not right.
Do country clubs specifically say which high schools they will accept membership?
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that, but I don't think that they can get away with that. It's probably unspoken. It sure as hell better be Central Corridor. You better be a Central Corridor cat, or you're not getting into our club.
That is going to be a T-shirt, I think. Speaking of which,
I was just about to hijack. These are amazing.
The Trick or Treat Bitches T-shirt is up. Doug, it's that Peter Rep who I believe has retired and moved to Orange County with his designs. It is up, and it is magical. They are in T-shirts. They are in hoodies. There are black T-shirts and black hoodies, and there are orange T-shirts and orange hoodies. Trick or Treat Bitches. And Peter Rep designed it with Iggy and a dart hanging out of his mouth. And the people loved it. And so Mike Flanagan and the wonderful folks at Inside Bowling created it. They're just creative. That's the thing. I think I've sent him like $500 or $600 at this point. He just keeps creating designs. So if you want to create designs, email me, tmckernan@InsideSTL.com with the actual design. And if it is chosen, then Doug, I'll Venmo you or Zelle you.
Okay.
Get as much as you can out of him now before he heads to Milan.
To become an international designer?
Yeah, fashion designer.
Oh, I thought there was like a Milan bowling.
No, it's not a bowling alley.
No, I'm talking about this Peter Gent or whatever his name is.
Rep. Who?
Rep.
Peter Rep.
Peter Rep.
Peter Gent.
Dude, I could drop like $350 on that website right now. Like everything we've come out with in the last month is absolutely
It has been amazing what's going on. And it's a credit. It's really a credit to the audience who have created these designs and come up with them. Because, Doug, as you know, we have no creativity here. We just babble on about nonsense, basically the same thing day in and day out.
It's kind of amazing with the supply chain crisis that there's enough material available to get tent-sized garments around these walruses. Because I imagine most of the garments they make are at least double extra large, right?
There is a 4XL option.
A 4XL. Okay.
Will the shirts get here before Halloween? Yes. My understanding is Mike and his staff turn these things around. Like he's got a Cardinal one that I think is going to come out today here in the next hour. I understand there's going to be a new design. And,
you started to say Hair Davis Payne?
Hair Davis Payne. Hair Davis Payne. Who's joining us today, Joe? That's Hair Davis Payne. And I said, will those be ready for the playoff game on Friday? And he said, yeah, people will have them by Friday. And I said, oh, well then great. God bless. Because, Doug, the weather is going to be chilly for the playoff game, most likely against the Phillies. That is not official yet on Friday. We have a golf outing on Thursday. Doug will be vacationing in the Hamptons, but all of us on the show and the sales staff for TMA and 101 ESPN. That's Thursday, and the Hawk is going to be up for that. So, Doug, I'm going to have to really try to compress that ball and keep it low to keep it out of the Hawk. But looking at the game on Friday, it's going to be sunny, but a high of 62 and windy, and Saturday, a high of 62 and sunny. And I was listening to Joe Buck last night on Monday Night Football, and he was talking about the times for the playoff games. And if I'm not mistaken, he said noon, 2, 4:30, and 7.
Wow.
So I would imagine if the Padres play the Mets, even if it's the Phillies, the Mets and Padres or Mets and Phillies will be the 7 o'clock game. That would be...
Oh, yeah, they'll get New York in there late.
Right. Yeah, smart move. I mean, that's the play.
Yeah.
From a market size standpoint. But then, where will the Cardinals be? The least glamorous first round matchup, I would imagine,
is involving the Rays, and that is the Guardians and the Rays. Even though the Rays are a dangerous team, I don't think they have a lot of cachet, and the Guardians are a byproduct of a crappy Central Division, which I'm sure some people around the country may say about the Cardinals. And then you also would have the Blue Jays and the Mariners. So I don't know. I would imagine the Cardinals are in that 12 or 2 o'clock spot.
Well, I have a question.
I would think, yeah.
I am taking questions. Doug will not be answering them until 9.
I will not give timely responses.
Jackson came up with a great question for Balloon Party regarding the rotation. We talked about the rotation playoff-wise a little bit yesterday. If it is a noon game and shadows are in play, do you consider Wainwright, even though he has a 6 ERA, just because of the curveball aspect and kind of where potentially the shadows could be at that particular time, or is it Michaelis, absolutely Michaelis, regardless of the time?
I would imagine it's Michaelis. And furthermore, I co-hosted the Fast Lane yesterday, and Brad Thompson was on, and he does not think Wainwright will be on the roster. How about that?
For the first series.
That's correct. Because if he's not going to start a game, then what role does he have? And I hadn't even thought about that. I think we arrived at the conclusion, even though I've gotten, because I've tweeted it, I've posted on the TMA Facebook page, fan page, and then all of the texts into 101 ESPN and our show. And I would imagine at this point, the one that's gotten the most votes has been Michaelis, Quintana, Montgomery, with Flaherty as the safety net. And Flaherty is pitching out of the bullpen tonight, backing up Dakota Hudson, or Doug, as you call him, Dak.
I don't really call him Dak. I'd have Flaherty as the number 3 guy right now.
I think I'm with Doug, too, man.
Just based on what he's done the last couple of weeks. And perhaps if Wainwright isn't on the roster and is forced to take another 3 days off, maybe that'll be good for him. Maybe just not throwing at all is the best thing he could do at this point, and he could be ready for the next round series, assuming they get there.
And if you think about that third game, obviously you want Michaelis and Quintana to go deep, 6+ innings. That third game, even if it's Montgomery, Flaherty, Montgomery, I don't see that starter going more than 4 innings. I see kind of a quasi-spot start. So you really, I don't know if it matters who starts Game 3 because depending on if you're up 2-0, if you're tied 1-1, but I just think they're going to use a lot more than just, having a starter go 6 or 7.
I haven't paid really attention to other teams this year because I don't play fantasy baseball.
I got rocked.
But depending on the lineup, do you go back-to-back lefties with Quintana and Montgomery? I haven't looked at the right-handed hitters in Philadelphia or San Diego.
I think at this point you just put the best guys out there, not worry about that. Nobody ever worries about putting 2 righties back-to-back.
Well, not during the regular season, but
even during the playoffs. You just put your best guys out there, I think.
Yeah, but in this case, Montgomery and Flaherty, it's not like one is way above the other one. So you probably make the decision against the lineup, whether you want to go lefty or righty, I would think.
Oh, yeah, you could. Yeah, but just the fact that Quintana would have started Game 2, and I don't think anyone would hesitate starting Montgomery in Game 3 because he was also left-handed. I think you just put the best starter you've got out there, probably.
And I just said, assuming that the best out of the 2, they're kind of even.
Yeah,
it's not like you're saying, do we go with Kershaw or do we go with, pick some butt ass? They're kind of even. So I think you would kind of think of lefty-righty, which one you want to go with.
No, I don't know. I think over the last 2 or 3 weeks, Flaherty has been considerably better than Montgomery. Now, Montgomery was a lot better through most of the season. But right now, Flaherty looks sharper to me. I didn't think we'd see Flaherty at all.
I didn't think he would pitch at all this year.
I don't think many people were counting on much of anything. It's a huge bonus now that he looks to be healthy and throwing very well.
Mark Milton is healthy, Doug, and he is throwing very well at STLTaxLawyer.com, isn't he?
Got a heck of a fastball and a sneaky knuckle curve, and he can get that around the IRS. You've probably heard by now the IRS is receiving an additional $80 billion in funding to increase enforcement of audits of taxpayers. If that news worries you at all, contact former Department of Justice Tax Division Attorney Mark Milton at STLTaxLawyer.com. This is the guy you go to if you've got tax problems. Mark and his team focus on tax debt resolution and can help with years of unfiled tax returns, defense against audits, and even criminal tax investigations. Clean up your tax issues and get yourself back into compliance before all those new IRS agents are hired and enforcement ramps up. If you've got IRS problems, contact the STL tax lawyer, Mark Milton. Here's the website again, stltaxlawyer.com. You'll be saying to the IRS, hey, I'm not guilty. I'm with Milty. I'm with the guy with the fastball and the sneaky knuckle curve.
That's what he has?
Yes. And remember, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on adverts. Bert Hooton used to have a knuckle curveball.
Dangerous.
That was his big go-to pitch.
Munganass St. Louis Acura and Munganass Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. And we are all huge fans of Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, Peter Munganass, and everybody at Munganass St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota. Go online at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com and check out the inventory they have in new and pre-owned cars. And even if you didn't get your car from Munganass St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota, you can get your car repaired at Munganass St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota. Just go to stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. We tell you this. They are the official automotive dealership of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast, also a loyal sponsor of Balloon Party. It is Munganass St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota. Check them out online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. It's our 7 o'clock hour. You are welcome to get involved, as many already are, by texting into the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox 314-881-TMA5, or you can call in, as many are starting to do, to the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines, 636-9004-TMA. Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Ken, what are you talking about? You don't have to comment on every single topic. Sit a few plays out. Maybe go get a coffee for an hour or so. Get some Harrison's Brother Master. What did Iggy say that upset Harrison's Brother Master?
Don't bow your head in shame.
He's defeated. And I don't even know
what happened. I don't recall what the topic was.
I think he talked about the pitchers. You don't want to start two lefties.
That was the
back-to-back.
topic. All of us were talking about the rotation. I threw out lefty-righty, so if you got something that you disagree with there, feel free to text in and what you disagree with.
You know what's great about playoff baseball? Is Bailey's is now in the rearview mirror. We can finally watch a good broadcast. I can watch it on YouTube TV. I don't have any buffering issues. It's going to be nice. Not having Danny Mac's disappointing, but still having a good network to show the game is super nice. And, you know, it's nice not having to play San Diego, where one game could be at 9:30 in the evening potentially. So
I'm surprised one of the networks doesn't have Danny Mac doing some of the games, because he's as good as anybody going right now, I think.
I think the best.
And to Iggy's point, the Phillies' two best hitters, most dangerous hitters, are left-handed hitters, in Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. So that may be
Rumuno's on a heater right now, by the way.
It may be a determining factor whether they throw Montgomery or Flaherty out there. Could be.
Sorry I chimed in.
Well, now, don't get upset.
I'll be honest. I thought Michael Kay was really good at calling baseball games until the cutaways, and it made me hate Michael Kay.
What cutaways? Of him?
Of Aaron Judge, of having to listen to Michael Kay when I'm kind of looking at a football game that I actually want to watch.
Now you're blaming the announcer.
Nothing to do with it.
I know. It's nothing he did, but I'm saying just those cutaways annoyed me enough to where now I don't really like the voice of Michael Kay.
Oh.
I still can't get over the fact that they did that for 62.
Did he hit 62?
He finally did, yeah. And nobody caught it, right?
I missed it if he did. Did he do it last night?
With that 61?
He had 61.
Okay.
I was about to say, after all of the attention on it, I didn't know he did it.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
So he had 61.
Yeah, I think he's still at 61.
Thought he might not get there.
They got him hitting leadoff to try to get him the maximum at bats.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Think he's going to get a groove ball here over the next 48 hours?
No.
I don't know.
I don't know their schedule.
Who are they playing?
Yeah.
Another ball club that's anxious to beat him.
Rangers.
The Rangers?
Yeah, he may not
Yeah,
have
I
to,
knew that.
They're playing in that warehouse?
may not have to groove one.
God.
It's lit.
It is lit.
Yeah.
Really cool to play at Costco.
He was 1 for 4 last night with a strikeout.
It
Still
looks
hitting
like
311.
they play in a Burlington coat factory with like a metal roof.
Yep.
It's the worst billion-dollar stadium in the history of billion-dollar
Well, you had to have a roof because it's so darn hot there in the summer. The fans won't go to the games.
I think the best stadiums.
There have been some wonderful buildings built with retractable roofs. I just am confused by what they built there. Have you seen that? I mean,
I've not been there. The other stadium was nice.
I know.
I don't
The
know.
one right
Park at
across the
Arlington?
parking lot. Yeah, it was
But
nice.
it didn't have a roof.
No.
This thing, it really reminds me on television of the Edward Jones Dome. That's what it reminds me of. I don't know what the atmosphere is like. It hosted the World Series. What if the Dodgers feel like they really won the World Series in 2020? You know what I mean? It was the COVID year. You're playing in a neutral site.
I don't think so.
It's like if the Blues would have won the Cup in 20 instead of 19. It kind of would have sucked.
Yeah.
Speaking of great stadiums, Minnesota Vikings Stadium is the best one they built.
It's cool.
It's unbelievable. It looks tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, they were threatening to move to get that.
Yep.
And that place is gorgeous.
I enjoyed watching their game in London at Tottenham Stadium. I thought that was cool.
Doug, Tottenham Hotspur.
Okay.
They have a cool thing where they can like move the soccer pitch with like a button, and a piece of the pitch comes out, and then the football stadium appears from below.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Crazy.
like it's stacked below.
That's what they
Like
call
it's like each part of the grass is stacked below. I saw that. That's pretty cool. And
Well, they have
Mall of
that-
America is going to be bumping with, London tourism too, which is going to be huge for that
Sure.
Minnesota market.
Yeah, they'll come by the tens of millions.
Green Bay plays this week, don't they? I think Green Bay goes to London.
I don't know. Phoenix Stadium has got that grass that rolls out into the parking lot, right? So they can get sun and water it.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
but they use natural grass.
Yeah,
That-
and it's on a tray, and they just roll it out in the parking lot.
Tottenham says that they water it's synthetic turf, but they water it. I didn't get that. They water it and light it up. I didn't understand how that works. Like if it's not real grass, why would you have to water it?
I don't know.
Maybe for the dewy look of it.
I guess.
I don't know. Unless a little water makes it a little plumper, makes it a little more cushiony.
It could be the case. They built the stadium for football games, like for American football. They built it so that they can get all these American football games there.
Here's Krispy Kreme explaining when is the best time to kiss a guy.
I was
Oh,
wondering what
come
this...
on. We're not talking about that. Hardcore sports. That's who we are, and that's what we intend to talk about.
Doug, here's the clip.
Is it a donut place?
I guess.
No.
What's up? It's your boy, Krispy Kreme. Now, I just got a question. When is it okay to kiss a guy? And honestly, this question was so touching to me that it made me cry a little bit. And I would say the most important time when you can kiss a guy is after a fight. Because when you need to smooth things over and patch things up with a buddy, y'all get in a fight, I'm telling you right now, a kiss on the lips, there's nothing that can't fix. That's my wisdom for today. Keep working.
That's
Peace.
not wisdom, Crispy.
Who's Krispy Kreme?
That is your
We
boy.
used to play this drop.
I'm trying to think of what it's named. I hate that
It's
I like...
It's cake. It's under KK. Not to be confused with the former closer for the Cardinals.
Is he a listener?
No.
Oh,
Rapper?
I used to
I got
follow
you, I
my
got you.
dreams.
Is that him?
Yes.
That's yeah. Why did he say he needed a good cry? Or it made him cry?
I don't know.
It was very touching.
I don't like it when people start a conversation with, hey, this is your boy. Hey, stop. You're not my boy.
You opened your sportscast last night by saying, hey, it's your boy Doug
I didn't have a
Vaughn.
sports cast last night.
You already taking time off?
never give up on my dreams.
Taking a,
Okay?
13
Krispy
months
Kreme?
off.
It is. That's him.
What does he do for a living?
I don't know.
Is he just a guy?
I assume he's a donut salesman.
When is it okay to kiss a guy?
It's a good drop,
It's a great drop.
right? Like, I feel like we could use that 50 times a show if
I
we
don't
really
think so.
needed to.
I don't know.
I think the donut place would probably have a lawsuit here.
And he spells it like it too, though. I do believe, right, Jackson?
Yeah, he spells it like Krispy Kreme. I don't think he's pulling in enough cheddar for Krispy Kreme to be concerned about them.
Don't say cheddar.
Well, I was going to say... No, never mind.
I just asked the question, is the donut place talking about kissing dudes?
I don't think
It's
so.
a donut place.
No, that's not what
Well,
their
Krispy
business
Kreme
is.
is a donut place.
Right, but it's also this guy's
Well, I didn't know
alias.
that. When
Just
Tim said
isn't-
Krispy Kreme wants to tell you how to kiss a guy, I thought it was a donut place.
No.
A free dozen if you kiss a dude?
I don't think
No,
I've ever
thanks.
passed a Krispy Kreme and drove by it when the light was on.
Oh, I have.
That
The
fresh
light
dot-
meaning they're fresh?
That fresh
Hot.
donut sign? Oh,
It used to be hard to drive by one without stopping and getting some.
I found
Sick discipline.
I had to kick that habit because I could eat them all day long.
Is that part of your workout regimen? Just avoiding the Krispy Kreme is step one?
Yeah.
I'm
Guys,
not hungry, but the
disagree
red
with
light's
him.
on, so I'm going.
The best time to kiss a guy is right after you've rimmed the S out of his dirt star. Thanks. That's
Okay.
from Joan Jett's groping hand.
Especially if he has
I
a
think
mustache.
that actually is right.
It is not right.
Because the mustache collects that little crumbs.
Okay.
A recovering alcoholic is up and active this morning. Hey, Gabe, read my balloon party fist threats.
What in the world does that mean? We were talking about the Cardinals' rotation in the playoffs.
When is it okay to kiss a guy?
Stop it.
And who's Gabe?
I think Jackson.
Yeah.
He directs a lot of that sex anger towards.
Yeah, he's submissive when he talks to me in Wellington, but very aggressive with Jackson.
He'll sometimes text me some like serious stuff, and he's like, "Hey, Gabe, listen here."
Oh,
And I'm always confused by that.
and you're supposed to take it seriously.
What a great nickname.
I find it funny.
I'm blocking. That's what I do. I'm blocking. He's got it coming.
Guys, do you think if Krispy Kreme ever sues Krispy Kreme the rapper, that Pillsbury would follow suit against Dillian Harper? That's from Marv.
Well, that's not very nice. And not funny.
Okay, Iggy, this sketch is as tired as the skin on your face. Go grab a smoke and a coffee. That's from the 314. What are we... I don't know what we're doing here. I'm sitting here, and Iggy's getting attacked for talking, but he's not really talking.
No, what sketch did I do?
Yeah. Doug, do we have a sketch or a bit?
We haven't had a sketch yet.
Can't win with these people.
Krispy Kreme audio. Check.
Yeah, here's my list of things. No, that's my Blue Chew thing.
One thing you can't do, Iggy, though, when you hear these mean-spirited texts, you can't just drop your head in absolute defeat.
It's not defeat.
can't
It's
let it
just
get
it's
to
not
you.
defeat. It's just like I just don't get it. I mean, if you have criticism, fine, I can deal with that. But stop with the bits. What have I done?
You tried a sketch and it didn't work.
What sketch
I
did I
don't
try?
know. I don't know.
When the listener sees you wounded, they
That's
all
when the buzzer
commence
starts
with-
circling.
Absolutely.
There's four of us talking about the rotation. I throw out. Do you think they'll go with lefty-righty depending on the lineup? Just sit out of play. Let the grown-ups talk.
Hey, y'all, it's your boy ASMR Ting Ting 2. Special moment just now when Boots tried to make his own drop by asking the question, is Krispy Kreme encouraging folks to kiss dudes? Hey, Tim and Plows, did you catch that? I thought a donut chain was encouraging dudes to kiss the guys. Tee-hee. That's from Brian Henson, who's now going by ASMR Ting Ting 2 because he's been suspended.
Hot takes. Yeah, that's what I do. I wait to talk and then hope Flowsy hears my drop.
I got you. I wrote it.
God almighty. There's like 1,000 of them in there. I mean, are you serious, Henson?
I'll write that one down.
Oh, wait.
That
Yeah,
one.
I got that, Flowsy. That's another drop
That's
for
a
me.
good one.
Whee!
You at loggerheads with this Henson fellow?
No. He's all right. He's a terrible writer.
Well, he's suspended, too.
Bury him.
I don't know what kind of work he gets.
High school coverage.
So
Same
much,
sort.
yeah.
Good morning. I'm politely asking for the Frank Opinion email. Thank you. That's from Wedding Tackle. Do you have that on call, Plowhawk?
I'm looking for it now. I do believe I have it.
I can send you a link to it if you need it.
Is he still on the air somewhere, or did he retire?
I have drops from it. But I don't know if I have the full one. At least not on my go-to drops. But I have this.
Lisa Ann is a big porn star.
And then
That was it?
Well, I said I had clips for
Good
it.
information.
I said I didn't have like the full.
Lots of porn.
But I don't think I.
Ah, that's good delivery.
Well, that wasn't much. I don't think those drops are even worth saving. This was a guy who had a giant of a career in town.
I would argue. Am I off the mark in saying the most impactful radio host in St. Louis history?
Probably.
Don't sell yourself short.
Oh, gosh. Jack Carney would be there with KMOX.
And so what was he on? He was on the 50s to the 80s? Am I right on that, or am I off on my decades?
Yeah, I guess.
And his
he's
son
extended
John
in
is
the
at
80s.
KTRS, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Yeah, that was a nice
That was
run.
short.
Got to be in that. Oh, it's short but memorable.
Yeah. J.C. Corcoran had a pretty good run there for a while.
Plus, I just emailed you the link to the be a full email and
Full
reaction.
email. And Franco
Gmail
Pinion
or
discovered
my-
it waiting to do his show for him as he reached the dais afternoon drive when we were at KFNS together.
I think I sent it to your Yahoo account, Plowsy.
Klaus got a Yahoo and he's got a Gmail. Sometimes I
The
mess up.
same
and
one, like in terms of name of it, but
Does it go to the same folder?
no, my.
So I always
Gmail-
go out of my way to try to do the Gmail one if I'm like, the Yahoo
That's
one
the
popped
work
up.
one. Like my Yahoo has so much spam now. Like I can't possibly use it for day-to-day use. So that's when I created the Gmail. Now I got to activate on my phone with the computer. This is kind of.
Doug, why is it so complex?
I don't know.
Well, when you sign into another device, it kind of.
Yeah, two-factor authentication.
It's crazy.
That's better than getting hacked.
I bought an inexpensive Windows laptop computer about a year ago, and I think the first or second day I had it home, I needed to download something off YouTube for a Channel 4 story. And it is this computer is now so loaded with viruses and malware, I can hardly use
wow.
it.
Yeah,
It's the second day, can hardly use it.
YouTube to MP3 computer or converters will give you a virus so quickly.
Yeah, there's one that works perfectly, and there's one that looks just like it that's nothing but viruses.
Yeah, once you find the one, bookmark it and save it
Yeah.
because they're rare to find, or they're gonna not give you a virus.
It destroyed this computer. I don't know how I can fix it short of spending more than I spent on the computer to get the virus protection.
Did you give me this story? Because I don't understand this. I walked in and this is sitting here in front of where I sit down. Did you give me this email of the day?
No, I did not.
Who gave me this?
I don't know.
Or was it even meant for me?
It was probably, maybe it wasn't meant for you. It was just sitting there.
It says to the morning after InsideSTL.com. There's an affiliation here with the station.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sitting here, so I assumed it was somebody wanted me to read it. It says mourn, like morning. And then it says, oh, hey, how are you? Did I overhear you say that this restaurant has the best baked chicken west of the Merrimack River? I'll take 2 orders, please, and make sure it comes with a side of that seasonal veg. Oh, you think this chicken is a bit dry? You think this chicken needs to marinate a bit more, you filthy boy whore?
Oh.
Let's whisk these breasts away to the gender-neutral bathroom where we can marinate this poultry in dehydrated Hoosier urine for up to 6 hours before sprinkling it with the undercarriage shrubs of a bear. Think about it. What?
What?
What does this even mean? Is this the kind of emails this place gets?
I can investigate that if you'd like.
Would you?
I will.
You are a private investigator.
I know.
Track this.
I will.
Track
Let me-
this person.
Doug, we have to be proud.
They were shaken by it. That's how I felt in the early days of this show. I had to get used to it.
When he says mourn. Really,
I like that.
Really.
The delivery. What about seasonal veg?
Yeah, that was
I
what
can't
got me.
deliver it like that. Seasonal veg. He called me when we announced that we were leaving KFNS and coming here, and he could not have been happier for us. I'm a big fan. He and somebody just texted this in. He said Franco Pinion was the first to buck the system of radio hosts being employees of the station. He rented his airtime and sold his own ads and was extremely successful. He is the blueprint, and so help me God. I absolutely just flat out ripped off what he did. You know, I mean, not that it's like a rip-off of a business plan, but I was aware of what he had done at KTRS, and I thought that's the move. That way you're not, subjected to what we have been subjected to. And if you are, then you can just pick up and move.
He brokered time.
Yeah.
And the key is you got to have a good show, and you have to be able to sell it.
That's the key.
You got
That's
to have
it.
2 skills.
That sums it up.
Yeah.
And he had, at some point, he had Fridays off in like 4 months in
Yes.
Palm Beach. That's what's up. That is what is up.
Yeah.
Palm Springs, I think.
Palm Springs. Thank you, Iggy.
Doug, do you go to Palm Springs or Palm Beach?
I've
Boy,
been
they're
to
2
Palm
separate
Beach. I've not
locations.
been to Palm Springs.
I go wherever the buggy whip is.
That's
Oh.
Palm Springs.
Oh.
And I actually believe I've been to that bar.
The buggy whip?
The one that's another drop plowhawk. I don't know how easy these are to access.
I got it.
You live with a guy
gay-
named Jose?
You go to gay bars in Palm
I
Springs?
don't believe it's a gay bar, but I did go to a bar that had some kind of horse name overtones.
Oh.
I think that I got.
And so
2
when I heard the buggy whip in Palm Springs,
Do you know what a size queen is?
for the whole clip.
Guy who's into big.
Oh.
Do you know what a bear is? Big fat guy. A lot of body hair, like a bear.
What was the name of the last gay bar you went to?
The Buggy Whip in Palm Springs. Last time I was there, I went home with a guy named Jose.
Oh.
Do you know what a size queen is?
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, that was the single greatest part of the show ever. Thank you for playing it. It made my morning. That's from Wedding Tackle. Eric in the Centralist End says that's the greatest email read of all time. I'm dead. Doug, you played Native American ball with his father.
I did.
And
he's still around, yeah.
Politely noting that's twice now that Jackson has produced circles around Plowsy regarding drops. First was the Krispy Kreme drop. Second was the Franco Pinion email. That's from Mr. Licks, who's now turned his attention from Iggy to the Plowhawk. This guy is anti-Pepper and Genie.
The email was 6 years old, and it's just, I mean, he has access to SoundCloud a lot easier than I do. And, like, I think we need to realize Stedman is the greatest of all time, but he was also dealing with 350 drops at max. I have 15,800.
You have 15,800 drops in there, bro? I didn't know that.
15,885 drops. So you can
Do you have a
suck
Lisbon?
a one. I just, sometimes you forget what they're named. Like, that one,
Yeah, I just have a weird memory.
yeah, that Krispy Kreme one before I even existed on the show, which means it's 9+ years old. Like, going through 15,000, in my go-to drops, I have 985. Those are the ones I like to play.
Sure.
It's just a grind to do it on demand all the time. I appreciate Jackson's help because I wouldn't have been able to find that email.
Well, I know.
We're partners.
But
this is a producing partnership.
You're
That's a
boys.
partnership.
You're
To
boys.
say, like, it's like telepathically, like me and the computer are connected as one to where I just think of a drop and it just opens up on my computer is just asinine.
Doesn't
it's
work
crazy.
that way, no.
So suck one, Licks. I don't give a
Come on now.
We'll have the open by New Year's. Probably by the time
You've
you're
delayed the
unemployed.
open in your anger.
Oh, this guy's never getting anything he wants. But
Why-
yeah, if I
who
have to
would care
explain
about
myself,
the open on a podcast.
yeah, especially one was so good now.
Do we even have one on mine, Jackson? I think I just say yes.
Yeah, we don't have it open.
That's great. We should start just doing it. I liked when Iggy did the 3, 2, 1, and welcome back to Pepper and Genie.
That's the
Nice.
open? That
Yeah,
wouldn't
we
be a
used
bad
that
open.
for one episode, and that was really funny. Yeah, you just don't type in
No.
Frank opinion on the computer and like I think real listeners have really unrealistic expectations of what you can find and how quickly you can find it.
Now Mr. Licks is angry.
Great. I mean, it sucks being an Amazon worker having to work 80 hours a week. I get it.
Oh
but
my God,
still.
Mr. Licks is at an Amazon warehouse?
Dude, we've seen.
I didn't know that.
3 of the last 5 calls, he's backed up a semi. I'm sorry, but it's a fact of life. He doesn't
Stephen
live in-
Wildwood wants to talk about the whole situation, Doug. He's on the Steve Schmidt
Oh,
Key
sick.
North County
Okay.
phone lines. He, at this point, is basically hosting a show over at 101 ESPN with how much airtime he gets. Good morning, Stephen Wildwood.
Okay, don't yell at us.
I love that.
Keeping the video from us. Put the video up.
What video?
What are you hiding?
What are you hiding?
The video of Plowsy running?
Yeah, Doug, put it up.
Well, I don't have it with me. I don't have it with me. Or I would.
Okay, I'll ask nicely. Can you please put the video up?
Nice. See, there you go.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I
That's
really
much
do. I
better,
would
right?
imagine it will be up by tomorrow. I hope I'm not putting the onus on those guys too quickly, but I would
think that's
imagine it would be
fair.
up by tomorrow.
Yeah.
There was a
I've
drone.
been
There was a whole
actually,
thing. It was a real production.
Sure it was.
It really was.
I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited to know if he made it. I don't think he did, but whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be hard. I mean,
And you want to
miles.
bet $5,000 that we will not beat Nagel? Is that where you were yesterday?
If he's going from the tips, I mean, that might be a little much for me, but at least 1,000. I don't think. I mean, you'd have to hit your drive. I mean, he was -10. I played in a scramble at Peevely Farm, and we were playing up. We had about the same mix of guys as you guys did, and we were -6. I mean, our putts were. You get 5 looks at the putt, but if it's 30 feet from the hole or whatever, I mean, you're gonna struggle.
But you weren't playing the tips.
No, we weren't.
Yeah,
but
see,
we were
that's the
-6.
Yeah, but that's the difference from the tips. I mean, if we were playing the whites, we could probably shoot 6 or 7. From the tips, no.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying. I think he can
Come
beat
on,
you.
Leather.
I'm saying exactly what you said, Iggy, is that he can beat you if you're playing from the tips. Now, if you guys were all playing up, I still think he could beat you just because I think he would drive the green on a couple, right? I mean, I don't know what I've never played Meadowbrook.
Oh, he'd be 80 out almost every hole.
Well, see, the difference, the reason I said that is because you said played it up. To me, playing it up means you're rolling it in the fairway and you're rolling it in the rough.
I meant the up tees like the white. We didn't play from the tips.
That's why I brought up the tips, because when you said up, I thought you just meant you rolling
Steve, just
it.
apologize to Iggy. It's the right thing to do.
I'm sorry.
Look at that. Doug. We have civilized society in this hour.
I'm not apologizing for anything.
This is a good call.
It is.
We don't get many, so thank you.
I do feel vindicated from a couple of weeks ago, though, because Plowsy got mad at me because I said the podcast shows up first. And then someone sent a client who wants to advertise there to the podcast, and the first thing she listened to was Pepper and Jeannie. So I did feel some vindication for what I said. I don't know why you guys don't want to put it like on a separate area so you know how many people go there and download it specifically, too.
You can still find that information out with it being on our TMA.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, individual
you can?
episodes. Individual episodes show up. Yep.
Yeah, individual episodes. That's correct.
I stand down, then.
Look at that.
It's okay.
We've civilized society
Right.
again.
You didn't know.
You
It's
wanna
okay.
apologize again, please?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is what I've done for 25 years of marriage, so I'm used to it.
Yeah.
What the hell? I used to apologize.
Well, sure.
I'm stupid, okay?
Well, yeah. It's all right.
But I have been honing my hot take skills by listening to Mad Dog every afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
And Mad Dog, it's hard not to listen. It's so good. He just ramps up. He picks something at the beginning of the show that he's mad about. Like yesterday, he was mad about Harbaugh, not taking the points. And his key is he always brings somebody up older. Would Lombardi have taken the points? Yes. He wouldn't have gone for it on fourth down. Vince Lombardi would have done that. Back in 1962, in the NFL championship, he did not take the points and he lost the game. He said he'd never do it again. He just brings these guys up from ancient times.
Seriously.
And just runs with it the whole show. And then everybody eggs him on the whole show. It's the same, 10 callers. Even though he's a, nationwide show or whatever, it's the same 10 callers every day.
My favorite was his quarterback tight end duos of all time that he did a couple months ago. And I love Bart Starr, but he also picked a tight end who came to the Packers late in his career, and Bart Starr and that tight end combined for 4 total touchdowns. They were number 3.
Boyd Dollar?
Yeah.
He was a wide receiver.
It was embarrassing.
It's hilarious.
He'll make four these movie references. He'll reference Humphrey Bogart movies.
He's not that old, is he? He's only, 50s?
I would say
No.
70s.
No, he's
70s.
mid-60s. I'd say he's mid-60s.
Who are you talking about, Mad Dog?
Yeah.
Doug, I'm going to put him at 59.
I'll take the over. I'll take 63.
Doug, you want to bet it?
I think he's in his 60s.
I got it.
He doesn't look that old to me.
62.
62.
Man,
Ships.
so
62
Jackson went
ships.
over, but it's between 2 years, right? So I think Jackson wins it.
Between two ferns. Do you know Roger Sweetwood, Steve?
No.
Okay, he said, Tim, stop bringing Stephen Wildwood on the phone lines. He is the reason St. Louis sucks and the rest of the country hates us.
Oh.
And Roger Sweetwood, I thought, wow. I thought Stephen Wildwood had a
Yeah,
high approval rating.
He does.
He does text in every time. I think he's a little jelly.
So that's why I was wondering if you knew each other.
He hasn't got famous yet for
No.
us.
I don't know him. Now, when Jackson, when you're out with a girl,
Sure.
and all these guys from the show come up to you, these, they're probably 30-somethings, and I've noticed the listeners, they're not all walruses. Some are skinnier. But what's the look on the girl's face when all these guys who are probably much older than you come up to you and say hi?
Yeah, is that a turn on for your lady friend Jackson to know that you are famous in St. Louis?
So, the Post Malone concert where I said I definitely saw the most listeners. At first, I think she was like, oh, this is cool. And then as it developed, it became a little more uncomfortable as the drinks started flowing. And it was guys very comfortable to come up and throw their arm around me. And I was like, hello, friend. I don't know who you.
Well, it's when they start
Just trying
asking
to sing
about,
along to Sunflower here.
Yes, they start asking about like certain segments to where, oh, did Iggy really bang his step aunt? And it's like, it's probably not the place to where I want to talk about
Right.
certain segments of the show.
But like 99% of the time, they're just cool people who just stop and say hi and they enjoy the show.
I like the older cats.
It's cool. It's cool. It's kind of tough to explain
Yeah.
because it's like, why do all these like 40-year-old guys keep coming up to you?
Hot 40-year-old guys, though.
Yeah.
Steve,
Yeah,
do you
they're
know
hot.
Mr. Licks? Because he says Roger Sweetwood can die. That's from Mr. Licks. So I'm curious who are allies and who are on the other sides here. Because I know Mr. Licks is sideways with Warson Woods Wacko. Are you on Mr. Licks' side? I don't know where we are on this.
I don't even know who Mr. Licks is. I mean, he's a recent caller, so I mean, I think I have more allies than enemies, but I don't really get involved in a lot of stuff either. I don't like every post that I make on TMA fan page is like fun, not like I don't go after people or anything.
Well, you live in an ivory tower, so
I do.
everyone else is kind of beneath you.
Yeah, for sure.
Was
You
Roger
got the archer
Sweetwood,
on the
like,
field, Doug.
Yeah.
Was Roger blaming you for like the crime in the city? It seemed like he was blaming Steve for everything that's wrong with the city. I didn't understand that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to ask him.
Have you been committing a lot of crimes?
I prefer not to.
Yeah, of course.
Now, Alan Dadeville says that you guys have actually encountered each other and gotten in a fight. The best Steve versus Roger Sweetwood moment was when Steve told him to shut up and keep drinking Busch beer in the bleachers with his asswipe friends.
Oh.
As one of Roger's asswipe friends, I felt very seen, but I love Steve. That's from Alan Dadeville.
I do remember that because he said something about the view sucks up here or something like when I first called him from here.
So
But
there is a
I
history
don't-
between you and Roger Sweetwood.
I guess so.
Doug,
He
there
brought it
is.
up now that
And everybody's-
but I've never met Roger Sweetwood. I think he's from the peninsula or something, isn't he?
I believe he may be. I know that's Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack and Mr. Nipples.
But Steve, you have the best view almost in the entire city. I'm not just saying that. Like, what was his problem with the view? You guys have two great
That we couldn't
views.
see the game. That we couldn't see the game.
Okay. I mean, you're in a building outside of the stadium. If you went there to watch the game, to buy a $5 bleacher ticket, man.
Yeah.
What a douche.
Now, Roger
I tell you
Sweetwood's
what,
taking it from the
boy,
plow.
he really is.
He is already a douche.
Yeah,
I
he's
didn't need.
getting hard.
I don't need to affiliate with that.
Thanks, Bob. Posey's got my back.
I love Steve, man.
Mr. Licks has followed up by saying, I don't know him personally, but I will say the home appraisal industry is a joke. That's from Mr. Licks.
I think Steve
He's
can
just
agree.
not happy with anybody's career or educational background.
Wait, you just get a couple of comps in the area, and then you say, okay, yours is worth slightly more than that. Everybody's happy. Let's go home, knock it off for lunch.
All right, Doug. That's enough.
This is nice, though. Steve is hot. If he were a little older, I'd bang him. That's from Marv.
Jesus, I'm 52. What do they want?
Like I'm a little dusty.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
But you're
man.
spry. You're spry.
I try to be. Doug, I got to take issue with you.
Okay.
I tried the Bachelor Clayton was I coached him in grade school.
Oh, you did?
And he know his family really well. And I tried to watch that thing. I mean, I could not. I just got so ticked by the end of it. I hated everybody on there.
Yeah.
You know, it's horrible. I mean, it's just these people are idiots.
The current
the-
Bachelor is
the
from
girl-
St. Louis?
Yeah.
Oh, is that
No,
right?
the one
No,
two
the
episodes
last
ago.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he,
Clayton.
you know, I don't. Yeah, they started calling him Clayton, but I don't know. Like, what do you think's going to happen when people go out on dates? They're going to bang. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, like, I think the Bachelor or Bachelorette should have sex with as many of the people as they can because they want to know, right?
Well, that's why they get on the show. Like, at least for the guys, like, they know they're potentially going to bag at least 3 of them.
I think they get on to get famous. Like the one who was the one who was a Bachelorette this year. I forget her name. She used to be a Denver Bronco cheerleader. Then she was one of the contestants who thought she was going to win and didn't. Then they brought her back as the co-Bachelorette. Now she's on Dancing with the Stars. She's on magazine covers all over the country. You get famous if you go a long way on that show.
Yeah. But they obviously they string it together to make it as make them seem as bad as possible. But God, some of the stuff it's just hard to watch. You seem intelligent, Doug. So I didn't think you would listen. I thought you would watch it once and then be done with it. But you get into it.
I watch it to keep peace in the family.
It makes you feel better.
I get the Cardinal game on my phone while everyone else is watching The Bachelor and Bachelorette. But I keep an eye on it.
Doug, have you ever seen Joe Millionaire? That is a better version of that.
I have.
Because gold diggers everywhere in the house, that to me it is
one
way
is a
better
millionaire
content.
and one isn't?
Yes. It's so perfect.
All right, well, sorry to disappoint you. Sorry to disappoint you.
No, I don't care, Doug, actually. You do you, Doug.
I will.
You do you.
Okay.
I'm just excited. I look over and I see that KMOV sign, and I think Doug's in there.
I'm not in there anymore. I haven't been for more than a year now.
Preparing his newscast. I don't know why what are you just doing behind the scenes? I haven't seen you on the TV.
I'm not there. I don't work there. I've mostly retired from there.
Are you guys moving to Maryland Heights?
They are moving to Maryland Heights.
Now, you said it second person, then Doug said it third person. You notice that?
Yeah, Doug, you're a part of this.
I'm not moving anything.
You're a partner.
You would say, we are.
My stuff is out of there.
You're a part of the ownership group.
You now own it.
I wish I was that.
Well, if they
deny that.
If they need me to fill in for a live spot or something, I'm just right down the street. So
oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, they may. You may get a little jingle.
Little feature piece.
Yeah, just like here. If you ever need me to fill in on KC, I'm 2 minutes away and haven't gotten that call. So
No.
But you were on with AD and Hewlett last week, right?
I was, but I was in here already.
Okay. So you want to do a full shift?
I love that the sponsor was on the line and you said, I got to go down to KC right in the middle. That was
No, it was. I'll be right back.
I'm all about cross promotion.
I was leaving yesterday after the fast lane, and Learn emerged from the KC95 studio and said, "How come you haven't come in to see me?" And I said, "Well, I didn't want to walk into the KC studios, and I didn't know that was something that she likes when we drop by. So Iggy, now you know that she likes when we drop by. So feel free when you're in the vicinity."
I'm never here.
In the afternoon?
At 2, no.
Did you get the question that she asked Jackson? How are the sports? Are they great?
It's one of my
I haven't
favorite
been on the air
jobs.
with her.
That's a great one.
Oh.
I've only really been in there once to say hi, and unlike Tim when he's in there, and she goes, "Oh, I'm going back on the air. Come on with me." Or Jackson, "I'm going back on the air. Come on with me." I got to get on the air. Get out.
Yeah.
How are the sports? Are they great?
Security, can we get this
Jackson,
guy
is
out?
that a T-shirt?
Yeah. What's silhouette?
Working on it.
There is actually, while we're talking here, there's a guy on the roof right now changing out the flags of the teams on the top of the stadium.
Dude,
He
that
doesn't have a harness on or anything.
Oh, my
He's
God. Are
just
you serious?
Walking right along. I don't see a harness or anything. Crazy.
Oh, dude, no way. I would do that.
Scary.
What does he put them in order of where they are in the standings? Is that what they do?
I guess so. I don't know. He's got the Pirates next. I think maybe who they're playing. Maybe I'll take a picture and put it on the fan page. This is nuts.
How about a video? Let's see the guy wandering around.
OSHA's about to come in there and ruin that guy's day.
Yeah.
Steve, why are you still on the phone? I have literally left my house, dropped all my kids off, and I'm now back home. I love you, but get off the air. That's from the Holly Hills Hustler. I like having Steve on. Doug, ours is the kind of show where friends feel like they can
drop in at any time.
Yeah, what else are we going to do?
Nothing.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to hold you up.
No, it was just the Holly Hills Hustler. We enjoy it. I mean, we can always, Plowhawk will ship people instantaneously. He's done it with Figs and Licks.
They need it.
The other drop I would love to hear at some point is the Frank Arnold Baumer drop.
Oh, yeah.
What one
That's
is
one of
it?
my favorites.
Men want to be
ever.
with him and
Oh, yeah.
backwards.
I got you. Yeah. Man, I got to find that one, too. See, sometimes...
What? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sometimes I save them when I'm, like, super intoxicated and inebriated, and I just keep forgetting what I... What was it? Yeah, the men want to be... I'll find it before the end of the show, Steve, for you.
Yeah, I'm not to put any pressure on you.
Not at all.
Now, also, one last thing. You played the Douglas clip before the show, like when you do the best of or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I would like everybody in this audience, and I'm going to start doing, perk your ears up wherever you are, listen for people's conversation, and see if we can find Douglas. I would love to find that guy. Like, if you could, maybe you hear him ordering at a deli or getting his meat at Schnucks or something like that. You hear the cadence. It's Douglas. Go up to him, find out how he's doing, get his number. I want to hear Douglas. I love that guy.
It's been a few years now since he's called in at all. I mean, several years.
I would guess he lives in like Lee May or South City, South County, somewhere in there.
I don't know.
That's where I have him placed.
All right.
But let's listen up for it. It's pretty good. All right, guys. Love you guys.
All right,
See you, Wildwood.
We're going to win the World Series.
Well, let's hope so. All right, Steve.
Nice. Stephen Wildwood, Doug.
Doesn't like The Bachelor. You know what I didn't like? I tried watching Dahmer yesterday.
I told you.
It's just horrible. It's just terrible.
I told you not.
Why do you're dismissive of it?
Yeah,
you're not like grossed out. You're dismissive. Tell me why.
I was not grossed out. It was just dark and slow moving and depressing, and not a character there that was interesting or entertaining. Just of zero entertainment value. So I stopped after about an episode and a half. I said, "Why am I putting myself through this? This is horrible." It's exploiting violence, exploring mental illness. It's just awful.
I don't think it's exploiting it.
I think it's exactly what it's doing.
It's people. They know people who watch that stuff. I watched it, and I knew what he did.
But why? What was the entertainment value?
I don't know. Things about the different people that he was involved with, and something different. I mean, I watched the John Wayne Gacy documentary. I mean, I'm not saying, God, it was so good, man. It was so enthralling. No, it's just...
Yeah, I just thought it was terrible.
No, I watched the one Plowsy told me to watch last night, The Sins of My Mother.
How was it?
God,
I told you.
Didn't believe the ending, but...
I told you.
I won't give it away because it just came out on Netflix, but... Yeah, I mean, just some people are just... I'm not into it. Oh, yeah, another guy eating bodies. No, it's just I knew about the story, and there were some things I saw that I didn't know about.
Yeah. Well, there were definitely things I didn't know. I didn't know his dad drove around looking for roadkill.
That's why I watched those things.
Yeah, I just thought it was horrendous.
Yeah, it wasn't uplifting. I was like, glad I watched that. Kind of feel better.
I'm surprised Doug even attempted that. I gave you a warning.
I'll give everything a shot. I wasn't grossed out. I can watch anything and not really be grossed out or affected by it. I realize it's just movie making, and keep that always in mind. But I just thought it was of zero entertainment value. I didn't find anything at all that I thought, boy, this is interesting, this is cool, I like how they did this or that, or that's an interesting character. Nothing. There was nothing in it that I found the tiniest bit entertaining.
Doug, Hardcore History's Dan Carlin puts it best. We are fascinated in the extremes of the human experience. It's totally normal. It's from Kevin's brother, Jack, and then his last name is Demoff.
Well, yeah, I can understand that and agree with it, but I wasn't the slightest bit entertained in the retelling of that story the way they did it anyway.
Good morning. I'm politely inquiring regarding the drops. Is there a standard way in which drops are titled? It seems like there is not. Wouldn't standardizing it make it easier for an inebriated Plowsy to save and then find drops? Thank you. That's from Dingle My Berries.
How would he know?
Like when I'm before the show, how am I supposed to know how they save it?
No. But how does this guy know how the drops are categorized?
Again, I'm not trying to cast any shade on anybody before me.
Stop throwing shade.
Stedman is phenomenal, but he dealt with 90% less drops than what I am dealing with. People have named them different names. Mm-hmm. Some are named Frank, some are named Cusimano, some are named the drop, then Dash Cusimano, or Dash Frank. I mean...
Plowboy speaking facts right now.
I don't know what more I can do.
Well, does somebody need to go in there and categorize it better? Alphabetize
that would take...
Tell them good luck on that.
Oh,
like that,
good luck.
It's almost the point where I don't even know if you could possibly do that.
If it is an impossible system to standardize, is what you're saying?
It's not possible, but if the board op knows where the drops are, it doesn't matter, Like, it's...
Correct.
If Plowsy knows where a certain drop is... Doesn't matter how it's titled. If he knows where it is, he knows where it is.
Now, when I started putting drops together, when I was doing drops of the week, I just titled them by who the person was.
Usually that's how I do it.
Plowsy drop. So that's probably harder because if you go to Plowsy, you have to look through all the drops. When did I say this? Instead of what?
And leave you quivering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we have too many drops. Maybe.
What if I had my left testicle hanging out and I was serving you a beer?
There's Frank.
Like, I've seen a lot of Frank drop, but you can't find the Arnold Palmer one. And I thought it was named Arnold Palmer.
Wasn't that the forbidden drop?
Yeah. So I may have deleted it from the whole thing.
Oh, no.
Ah, we wouldn't have done that.
No.
And Clip That Off is a great resource
That's
as
where
well.
I'm on at, too.
Because you can just search things in there.
And Doug, to show you
Shout out to them.
an answer to your
what up,
question, Dahmer on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics rating, 53%. So the critics didn't like it. Audience score, 84%.
How about that?
I don't get
People
it.
just want to watch it. Critics
I don't
thought
get
it
it.
sucked, but the audience liked it.
Do you care?
I'm just going.
I don't care who cares.
No,
I just put it out there.
Yeah. Well, I've watched some terrible shows in the past. Sure, I have. Never to this extent. I just thought that was an absolute waste of a couple of hours.
I didn't say it was entertaining, but
No, I wasn't enthralled.
I finished
by
it.
Has anybody watched Blonde yet on Netflix? The Marilyn Monroe thing.
I heard it was awful. I don't want to.
It's 3 hours long.
I heard it's basically a snuff film for the director who was obsessed with Marilyn Monroe.
I mean, I don't think any of it's real. I think it's fiction.
Go from black to white to color. It's like, dude, what are we, Hellboy?
Hellboy.
They kind of
Ron
did that
Perlman?
with that movie. It's just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't-
Sin City, all that stuff. They did black and white and then went to color. It's just,
Sin City was weird, wasn't it?
it was odd that Bruce Willis was a part of that.
Yeah.
I haven't read reviews or anything, but I'm watching this and think, did that happen?
Oh, people hate it. I probably won't venture to watch it.
I like that actress though. She's Cuban.
Anna de Armas?
Yeah,
She's incredible.
Yeah, she hides that accent really well.
She was dating Ben Affleck before he
Many of the-
remarried to J-Lo.
Many of the Cubans have zero accent. The ones that have been here have zero. That
Well,
grew up
she-
here have no accent. They speak perfect
She didn't
Spanish.
grow up here. She moved here when she was like 14. She lived in Cuba, born in Cuba.
Marv wants to know if there's any way Plowboy can come in on his own time and retitle the 15,000 drops. Doug, that's from Marv giving out assignments.
I
to the
mean,
club.
realistically, I shouldn't have said impossible because it is possible, but that the amount of work that would put in is
It isn't worth it.
Agreed. I think if
Probably
the juice worth the squeeze, I don't think so. It may make it a little bit easier, but you still got to go through 15,000 of them. I mean, regardless of what you can say.
This gentleman says, purge the drop. You like that term, Doug? Purge?
I don't
purge,
mind it. I don't-
Purge the drops you rarely or never use. Boom, now you have 1/3 of the catalog to deal with. It's not that hard. That's from the 573. That's mid-Missouri.
Yeah,
That could be Brady Cook.
The problem with that is, like, you never want to delete anything in this business.
Correct.
If you think it's no value at all now, I get it. But you just never know what you're going to need. And I know a simple, stupid drop that we never play may sound ridiculous, but in order to delete 1/3 of it, you're talking a huge portion of the drops. 5,000 drops. We're going to need those. Deleting anything is a cardinal sin in the radio media industry.
And they're 1 second, MP3 files that don't
Correct.
take up much space.
I just don't feel comfortable deleting anything.
I don't know what this means, but Mr. Licks has sent in sirens. It says, simp alert, simp alert. Who's the simp?
Probably because I said I like Anna de Armas. God.
Yeah. Come on, simp.
That makes you a simp?
Yeah, because you can't like actresses.
Is that right?
You can't like mainstream actors.
No, you
I
just
thought
can't.
simping was like going out of your way to compliment them on social media and offering to buy them stuff. That's what
Yeah,
I thought.
that's accurate, but that's what Licks is one of his pitches.
When somebody says
that's his slider.
When someone
He's
uses
calling
the
someone
word
a simp.
sus, I hate them.
So what's that?
Suspect.
Yeah, like I just don't get how that is a thing. It's so popular now. I hear it all the time. It's like, can you
use
just
it in a sentence, please.
You sus.
That wasn't much of a sentence.
That's what I mean, that's what it means.
Here, Doug, like you.
Get a bite of that banana again.
Like you took your shirt off and you applied sunscreen to your back, like you're acting really sus. There you go.
Suspect.
Right.
Okay.
Iggy, I only have a few more bites of banana left.
Just put it in your mouth.
Doug, over during the show, Iggy has asked the plowboy to eat the banana so he can video it. That is going on in the Michelob Ultra Studios. By the way, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs, sponsor of the Lemmings Open, the Dotem, and the Fan Page Club Championship. Michelob Ultra, thank you for your sponsorship of the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Iggy, where's that video going to go?
That's just a picture.
That's sus. What you did right there, that was sus.
See,
Yeah, that's
there
a
you
good
go.
example.
I'll tweet it out. I need likes.
This twink mocks Amazon drivers but can't work an extra hour to give the fans their drops. That's from the 215.
Dude, I don't think you realize it's days. It's not 1 hour.
No,
that
it
is days
Let 'em have
and
it.
days and days of categorizing and renaming. Like, dude, you are a complete buffoon, man. Do you do free work around your establishment? No, you do not. No. So, shush.
It would be people are trying to create a solution to a problem that doesn't exist.
Yeah, there is no problem.
Like
you're going to have to go through 15,000, whether rename them or not. Like, you're going to... Sometimes the topic in which is a good drop, maybe that topic lasts 5 seconds. So I have 5 seconds from the point of something that was said to a drop that makes sense to find, like, sometimes it's just you miss.
Yeah,
sometimes
sure
you can't get that content in time. And renaming them is not going to change that. But yes, please. I'm not bashing Amazon worker, but I am bashing the guy who says he lives in Huntley and he's backing up an Amazon truck.
He's a sus.
While also getting Chick-fil-A at 9:30 in the morning.
Yes.
That is not a Huntley. That's not a Huntley boy.
There aren't many Huntley boys. Huntley's like 300 some odd people.
And none
There's
of
only
them,
a handful of Huntley
and
boys.
none of them drive a semi and
No.
drive through Chick-fil-A at 9:30 in the morning.
Doug, are there more Huntley boys or Central Corridor cats?
There's a lot more Central Corridor cats than Huntley boys.
Yeah, they're eating poached eggs and drinking espressos.
I could go door to door because it wouldn't take long in Huntley and ask, and I guarantee not one person listens to this show.
You should just say, hey, do you know Mr. Licks? Probably get the cops.
I don't think you'd find a lot of Huntley listeners, no.
First of all, I couldn't go door to door. I can't get through the gates.
Yeah,
A lot of land, Bill. A lot of land.
There is a lot of land.
Wow, we know how to get Plowboy. Ask him to work harder and longer hours. That's from Harrison's brother, Master. They're coming at him here today
They
with
really
the
are.
drops
I get
things,
here
and it's
like-
unfortunate.
I mean, I get here at like 4:30, 4:45, so I don't think the work ethic has anything to do. And Jackson said about you were talking about a task that will not help this situation. And I'm fine
Busy
working
work.
harder, but people act like this is just a quick hour of work. I will pay you $5,000.
Whoa, hold on a second. Everything's
Back up.
live. I
I
perked
will-
up my
Retract.
ears.
I will give you a 2-hour...
Jackson just advised you to retract.
I will give you a 2-hour training session on Adobe Audition, show you where every drop is, and I will lay $5,000 in cash. If you can rename those drops, all 15,000 in that hour, that cash is yours.
In the
If
hour.
not, stick the peanut between your legs and walk out. That's
You just told the audience to play Tuck Tuck Goose.
like, to say this is an hour's worth of work is just, it's so laughable. It's not even, I shouldn't even be responding to such idiocracies.
You're fed up at this point, I can tell.
Well, it's a
Ray King is in. He says he's in for $5K. It's easy money. So there
I
you
will
go.
be at Hubbard. Let me know, Ray. I will give you, again, a 2-hour training session on Adobe Audition, show you where 15,000 drops are. I'll open those MFers, and you cannot rename all 15,000 and categorize them in an hour.
I think
I'm
Ray King-
challenging anyone and everyone to that.
Didn't Ray King give us the 360?
Oh, yeah. I think
he gave us the 360, so he might be
No, I think that was a different guy. There was one guy who dropped it off at a Hot Shots in St. Charles,
Correct.
I thought.
We could've
Ray
used
King
those-
said he would get a 360 if you said something, and
I
then he
said
didn't.
it, but we never got it.
And
the
we
number
did
of
get a
drops.
360 and we lost it. We put it in a closet somewhere and it
Or it
disappeared.
was a locked drawer,
That was stolen.
and then we left.
With the number of drops we have, a 360 does no good.
Yeah, it's like it holds maybe 50 drops max.
What about a Lisbon?
That's a podcast. I'm sorry. You're out of your element right now, Vaughn.
Yeah.
Plowsy, don't listen to them. This is your journey. Don't let the haters get you down. That's from Bill's wife.
Well, I don't think people should be, I guess I'm the last person that should be saying people shouldn't be commenting on things they don't know because I give takes of things that I don't know all the time.
Now, how about this? This guy's saying in an hour that's not realistic. But, Tim, I'll do it for free. The consequence is Plowsy has to self-furlough for 90 days.
Oh.
That's from Mr. 63011.
He's a sus,
Not
too.
worth it. And
That's sus.
I don't know if I want to have random listeners access to our folders as well.
It's another good call.
No.
Thank you.
Hard retract on that offer. It's been withdrawn.
The offer is now off the table,
I
so
would-
Ray
I
King
would say,
cannot
yeah.
receive it. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, it's impossible to do. So
Well, for
that's why
security
that's
reasons, we can't let just anybody walk in off the street and get into the
agreed.
computers.
That was very immature of me to say. Irresponsible, I guess, more than immature.
Plowboy, why would you train somebody for 2 hours when you just said you can do it yourself in 1 hour? That's from the 215. I don't
Never
think that's
said-
what he said, though.
Yeah, and I'm saying that's the caveat to the bet even more so. I'm giving you training on this because then if in an hour when they only rename 10 total drops, they can go, well, I didn't know how to use Adobe. And so this gives me the opportunity to really shove it in your face. And, like, if I win, then you can never text in again as well. Which, my God, would the show be better if they stopped texting.
How many drops are in Clip That Off?
Probably
Deep does a ton.
I'd say 500 to 750.
Like 500 to 750 drops are on Clip That Off.
And it's way easier to use in terms of finding.
How many
drops.
are on Lisbon?
0. So the thing about Clip That Off is you
we've
can
got
play
room
them.
on Lisbon.
You can play them like very quickly because on Adobe, when you have, like Pazzi said, 500 drops open, there's a lag to it. So the Clip That Off, you can play them quicker. That's where my favorite drop of Ablin saying, "You're a gentleman who prefers a dry rub once in a while." So I used Clip That Off for that one because that one really.
I wonder what the context on that was.
You're a gentleman who enjoys a dry rub every once in a while, and I play that one off Clip That Off because that one's funny. Other than that, it's pretty much the same drop.
Jeff Ablin had some good drops. He's an underrated drop master.
Yeah, he is. I mean, that's a good one.
How do you spell his last name?
Ablen.
Wasn't it We Get It Guy? You work out or something like that?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Are there a lot of them? Let's take a listen.
No, I can't find any of them on Clip That Off.
Oh.
I typed in Jeff and Ablin.
Deke Dotem, who is the creator of ClipThatOff.com, says, "I'm happy to work with you boys if you want to import all of your drops into Clip That Off, or we can just cyber." Thanks. That's from Deke Dotem.
He wants to go private.
I'm actually way interested in actually both parts. But the first one, I didn't know what the max could be on Clip That Off. But I would love to. I would take my time working for free to upload them to Clip That Off way more so than I would be to rename them. And that would be something probably a little bit more simple. So I'm down for
Clip That Off. How are they listed? Like you couldn't find Jeff or Ablin, so how is that drop listed in Clip That Off?
Most of Ablin's are just named what the drop is, like workout.
What do you think is easier?
Kevin's brother Jack Demoff says a solid-state hard drive would fix your throughput issues.
Yeah.
See, we need people like that, because I didn't understand any of that, but I know he knows what he's talking about.
You can't find any Jeff Ablin drops.
Look up dry rub and Clip That Off.
Oh.
Well, I also need...
We get it, guy. You work out.
Well, also, Jackson has a folder or a flash drive with a bunch of drops 1, drop 2.
I do.
You're a gentleman who enjoys a dry rub once in a while?
Yes! Go, I was talking over it. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
All right, let's hear it again.
You're a gentleman who enjoys a dry rub once in a while?
God, I love Jeff. I really love Jeff Ablin. God, he's so good.
While you're looking for more, I will tell the audience about cybersecurity, since we're just going to let anybody come in off the street and mess with ours.
Yeah.
It's the most exciting career in technology and one of the most in-demand. Centric can train you for a career in cybersecurity, and they can do it in just 4 months. Centric's hands-on program teaches you the actual job skills you need to get started. No history, no biology, just technology. That's how they do it in just 4 months, even if you have no IT experience. And you can do it online, or you can do it in person, you can do it in the evenings, you can do it during the day, whichever works best for you. If you're interested in a career in cybersecurity, call Patrick Nealon at Centric Training today, and he'll walk you through Centric's cutting-edge program and show you everything Centric does to help get you started in your new IT career. Call 314-450-4714 or go to centric.com/STL. That's CENTRIQ.com/STL. Cybersecurity.
I enjoy a little bit of wetness,
Sorry,
too.
I didn't mean to put that. I was typing in Ablin's name wrong.
Cybersecurity is a problem for every business in St. Louis. You can be part of the solution. And also, you should probably think about it. Doug, can you tell me about our title sponsor? His name's Ryan Kelly.
That's who he is. He is Mr. Mortgage to you. Rates are still dropping. Home equity's still up. Now's the perfect time for a cash-out refi. Rates are going to go back up soon. Act before they do. The average cash-out refi with the home loan expert now around $54,000. Pay off those high-interest credit cards with that. The home loan expert can structure your loan to miss out on a few months of payments, too. Find the financial freedom you want with a $54,000 cash-out refi. Assuming you have that much in equity, take it out. Pay off those credit cards and no payments for a couple of months. The home loan expert has rates over a quarter point lower than the national average and is home to that 10-day closing guarantee. Remember, you only date the rate, you marry the house. If you got an interest rate that you think is too high right now, you're hesitant to buy a house because the interest rates are high, you're just dating that rate. You can change it. You can refi when the rates come back down. You find the house of your dreams, go ahead and get it. The days with the multiple offers are now over. It's now a buyer's market. Let Ryan Kelly and his fabulous team help you through the process there at thehomeloanexpert.com.
There it is. Title sponsor of the program, Ryan Kelly. Loyal sponsor of this program for a decade, and we are clients of Ryan Kelly's. I'm also a client of Stratum Structural Systems online at stratumrepair.com. Brett Groman, Matt Ford, Stratum Structural Systems. 314-620-8153. When you call, let them know you are a TMA listener. The way I found out about Stratum Structural Systems, I was having waterproofing issues in my basement. I asked one of my favorite builders that I know in the St. Louis area. I said, who do you guys use whenever you run into this and you're building a home or one of your clients has an issue? And he goes, oh, that's easy. Everybody knows that you go to Stratum now. They're the best. And I go, oh, well, that's the greatest. You're the best builder. I'll work with the best company. And it's turned out that's been exactly what it is. Stratum Structural Systems, waterproofing and foundation repair. Think local. Think Stratum for basement crack repair, foundation peering for settling homes, bowing or rotating wall repairs, basement waterproofing services like sump pumps, interior and exterior drainage solutions, egress window installation, and concrete leveling and downspout extensions. They are local. They are in Chesterfield, Missouri. They are in Columbia, Illinois, and they are Stratum. 314-620-8153. Let them know you're a TMA listener when you call or go online. It's stratumrepair.com. It's 8:32, so let's wrap up the Mung and Ass 7 o'clock hour. When we come back, Doug, we have so much to get to. You won't believe it.
Women wanted to be like him, and guys wanted to be with him.
That's it.
Suck it, Lex.
That's it.
What a response to Mr. Licks from the Plowhawk.
Thank you to Buck Swope, of course.
Do we hear
Buck Swope at it?
One more time.
Yeah, Buck Swope emailed it to me.
Is he the best in the business? Who's better in the business?
I don't know if
Hands
there's anyone
down, him
better.
and Geek Dotem won.
Maybe one more time only.
Women wanted to be like him, and guys wanted to be with him.
I was in studio during that as well, by the way, and it was unreal.
I was streaming in Las Vegas, having coffee, and I believe I texted the Plowhawk immediately, and I said, clip that off.
It was already improv. Like, you could see the face with the bat. I wish YouTube was available. He knew. He knew he did it.
And the first time we played it, I think he told Sea Monster, please don't ever play that again.
I think it was after the fifth
So we
time we
agreed
played
to
it
not
that
play it.
day.
Yeah, he's...
Once you ask something never to be played again, it's going to be played 1,000 times.
Women wanted to be like him, and guys wanted to be with him.
The tail end where you had to finish.
Yeah.
It is the Mung and Ass St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Appliance discounters 8 o'clock hour coming up. Next, send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Would you like to take $5,000 to come in here and catalog our drops in an hour? It's on the table. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design Air Heating and Cooling email today at 9:45. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan for Design Air Heating and Cooling. I am a very happy client. Design Air Heating and Cooling and Seth Goldcamp and his incredible staff, which you can find online at designairservice.com. Just go to the website, click on the Book Now tab, and any issues you may be having with your HVAC system, they will take care of immediately. The customer service, second to none. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago, and they still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Hey, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled-high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 7, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Doug Vaughn here, along with the home loan expert, Ryan Kelly. Ryan, I know you have been a longtime supporter of the military and trying to make things easier for them and more affordable for them to buy a new home. How's that going?
The VA loan is one of the best benefits of being in the military, but the problem is nobody good was doing them. No one really cared about them. These banks were taking months to close them. We've changed the game on that. In fact, we close VA loans in 21 days or less. I personally pay for your appraisal, and we can help you with all the VA paperwork. Visit HeroLoan.com. That's HeroLoan.com, the only way to VA.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Ashton Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. Ask yourself, what is my provider doing for me? Do I have to hit prompts? Do I have to deal with chatbots? Am I put on hold? Is it always a different person? Are they local? Are they proactive in the community? Do they represent the #1 provider of auto and home insurance in the U.S.? The James Carlton State Farm team is comprised of individuals right here in your neighborhood. We are out supporting our Blues, Cardinals, Bills, and Tigers. Do something new in 22 and kick the out-of-town companies to the curb. Give us a call or go online to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
There's a lot of common sense and Western wisdom like don't squat with your spurs on and always drink upstream from the herd. And there's also some Western wisdom that's less common, like never steal from a bear or what you can't make for yourself, or a man doesn't know his worth until he's eye to eye with a rattlesnake holding a toad. I'm sure there's a good lesson in there somewhere, but there's one lesson that is perfectly clear. A Fistful of Bourbon is an award-winning blend of 5 straight bourbons and as smooth as a banker on Friday. Get wise and pick up a bottle today. Don't be a damn fool. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by William Grant & Sons, New York, New York.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2. The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Reds have Chew, Dodgers Puig, Braves have Freeman, Sox have E, A's have Chris, Pirates have Kutch, and the Tigers have a Prince. Rays have Price, Indians Boy, Clayton Kershaw, wow, wow, wow. They don't compare to a home team. What do the Cons have? What the Cons have? What do the Cons have?
Doug, it gets you ready for the playoffs, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is just simply the best song that's ever been performed.
We're going to win with the guy screaming is my personal favorite. It is the Ryan Kelly Morning After. This is the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour. Appliance Discounters, your hometown appliance source, featuring major brands like GE. When your washer, dryer, dishwasher, refrigerator goes out, you don't have the luxury of going, oh, well, we'll get to that here in a few months. That's not the way that it works. It's not the way that it works, Jack. At the Appliance Discounters, they can take care of it quick, fast, and in a hurry. If you're in need of an appliance right away, you won't wait weeks. At Appliance Discounters, they have an 80,000 square foot warehouse filled with GE appliances, along with other brands. You can't wait weeks when your refrigerator, washer, or dryer goes out, so come into one of their showrooms today and they'll deliver it tomorrow. If you're building or remodeling your home and don't need your appliances right away, they can hold them for you. And remember, you can always shop online at theappliancediscounters.com. And Doug, you're a big PDR guy, is that correct?
Well, because I know what it is. It's paintless dent repair. You guys, I'm sure you don't understand the minor body damage in cars and how it's repaired, but boy, they get it at Dents Express. They are back as one of our sponsors. Great to have them back. Dents Express is where you take your car for minor dents and dings for paintless dent repair PDR that will restore your car to its original luster without having to do a lot of painting. It gets expensive. It gets time-consuming. You don't always have to do it. They don't usually do it at Dents Express, and the cars come out looking fantastic, like my car did. They repair minor collision damage, hail damage, and they do cosmetic wheel repair. They've got 2 locations. They're on Manchester Road in West County, just about a mile west of 270, and on Hughes Lane in St. Charles. If your car is a dimpled mess, you go to Dents Express. Go see Gray. It'll make your day. Gray is Gray Wilson. The Wilson family has owned Dents Express since the early 90s. Family-owned and operated business. Fantastic people, and they will take just as good a care of your car as they did with mine. Their website is dentsexpressstl.com, and you mentioned TMA. They'll knock 10% off the repair price.
How about that?
Go see them at Dents Express.
There it is. And why don't you pour yourself a glass of bourbon? It's Fistful of Bourbon, a wonderful sponsor of this program. There's a lot of common sense and Western wisdom, like don't squat with your spurs on and always drink upstream from the fan page. And there's also some Western wisdom that's less common, like never steal from a bear, which you can't make for yourself, or a twink doesn't know his worth until he's eye-to-eye with a rattlesnake holding the toad. I'm sure there's a good lesson in there somewhere, but there's one lesson that's perfectly clear. Fistful of Bourbon is an award-winning blend of 5 straight bourbons and is smooth as a banker on Friday. Get wise, pick up a bottle today. Don't be a damn fool. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by William Grant & Sons, New York, New York. Get involved in the show. It's our Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour, 314-881-TMA5. That's 314-881-TMA5 for the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox. And you can call in, just like Stephen Wildwood did. He spent 20 minutes with us, 636-9004-TMA. And you can email in for the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines. And you can email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. That is coming your way in about an hour. Hour and 2 minutes, Doug, is that right?
That seems about right. Just about right.
Mr. Lick says, Plowsy, no, I don't work at Amazon, but I have met the founder of Amazon and has sent in a picture of himself with Jeff Bezos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does it look
That's
legit?
a really good comeback, though, nonetheless. That's pretty funny.
Pretty easy to Photoshop a picture these days, though.
But we don't know what he looks like. It could be anybody with Jeff Bezos.
That's true. Yeah. That is so true.
It's a good comeback.
I see they have an enormous Amazon warehouse now out in Fenton where the Chrysler plant used to be. Huge.
It's amazing. I'm blessed to have Amazon Prime.
Are you flaunting?
Yeah.
That is.
Flaunting your wealth right now?
I did it because it's another streaming service I have. When I got rid of Cable America, I was looking for something else, a bunch of stuff. But when you get that, you get your packages for free. So I did a lot of Christmas shopping last year on Amazon, and it gets there in like a day.
Yeah.
Dude, we order, we get it in 24 hours. Like
it's amazing.
Madison
really.
has Amazon Prime. And I realize they have, warehouses near your house, so they just send it to the. I understand how it works, but it's crazy.
It is. And can the warehouses be big enough to have all the products? Anything you could ever think to order, it's just in a warehouse right around the corner?
It's really crazy.
It can't be.
So think about the days where we would order Christmas stuff off of JCPenney catalogs, and you would order it in November, and it would be at the JCPenney a month later.
I know. It must be that some of the goods they're ordering right from the manufacturer and are responsible probably for delivering it more than storing it.
We got Franny's birthday tomorrow, and we ordered a bunch of stuff yesterday.
This is one of your dogs?
Monday, yeah, on Monday, and it came, and it's going to be there at 11 a.m. today.
Yeah,
it's
nuts. Amazing. They've got this logistics thing figured out.
And you got guys like Licks delivering them, which is really huge. They're really good workers.
Mr. Licks, so that's why you met Jeff Bezos?
Yeah.
I didn't know any of this
It's
stuff.
delivery day.
And I haven't looked into it because I don't have a garage. But they have a new thing now where I guess the Amazon driver, can open your garage, put your package in your garage, and then shut your garage door.
Keep it from being stolen off your front
I get
porch.
that, but how do they get the access to open your garage?
You'd have to give it to them.
I know a few people that do have Amazon drivers that do that's the normal route, and they have given them key. Some people have lock boxes in front of on their porch, where it's you unlock it and there the package is, and Amazon worker has a key to that, so he can just unlock and lock it up after he's done delivering. Pretty cool.
Is Larry Nichols still on hold?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. My bad, Larry.
No, that's not your bad. That's my bad. Larry, I apologize. We got going on this drop situation, and Ray King coming in to get $5,000 from the Plowhawk to recatalog them.
That's okay.
All right. Well, that's still, you're on hold for a long time. I'm sorry. Doug, you wanted to know what happened on the show last night.
Yeah, what happened on the presentation?
Well, here's what happened last night on Monday Night Raw from St. Paul, Minnesota. You see, Mustafa Ali was disrespected by Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley is the United States champion, and Mustafa Ali wanted an opportunity at Bobby Lashley and on his United States championship. So when Bobby Lashley came into the building last night, Mustafa Ali interrupted his interview and demanded the opportunity at Bobby Lashley. And Bobby Lashley said, you disrespected me. You got a match tonight. So Bobby Lashley and Mustafa Ali had their match. And of course, Bobby Lashley won with the Hurt Lock.
Were you surprised Lashley beat him, Doug?
Not with the headlock. You say he beat him with the headlock?
No, Hurt Lock.
Hurt Lock.
Was that 2010's Best Picture, the Hurt Locker?
Oh, I don't know the years, Tim.
Did it win Best Picture?
Yes.
I was surprised by that. Was it Jeremy Renner?
Yeah. Beat out Avatar.
Okay.
I give you credit, Larry. You're the only guy I know who can do this while the TV's on and not get distracted. I'd get distracted. I'd be listening to the TV and forget what I was saying.
I'm a professional. I can multitask. But anyway, the Hurt Lock is another name for Full Nelson. But Mustafa Ali did not tap out. He passed out. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin did at WrestleMania 13 against Bret Hart when Bret Hart had the sharpshooter on.
Okay. Anything else happened that was really of note?
Besides a contract signing for the Raw Women's Championship ladder match between Bianca Belair and Bayley.
Yeah, you asking for something other than that?
Yeah, something beyond that. Yeah.
But anyway, Bayley had a trick up her sleeve. She had her cohorts, Io Sky and Dakota Kai, beat up Bianca Belair's friends, Alexa Bliss and Asuka. Then all of a sudden, Bianca Belair tried to go back to the backstage area. Bayley tried to stop her. Then Bianca Belair and Moxley went back to the backstage area to check on her friends.
Okay.
Yeah, phenomenal that it did happen all in one show. Larry, do you have the top 5 countries in the world available at your disposal?
Yes, I do, Tim. Thanks for asking. Number 5, Costa Rica.
Oh, wow.
It's a new one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Number 4 will be the Florida Keys.
Florida Keys? That's not a country.
They were annexed by Putin.
They weren't. It's part of Florida.
It actually just happened.
Yep. Current events. Study them.
Paperwork being signed
And
out.
plus, I'm doing it because Florida, even though the Florida Keys are part of Florida, I'm doing it because of what they went through with Hurricane Ian.
What a tribute.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 will be the Dominican Republic.
They get called the DR. If you like.
I don't know. I'm not
they
that
are.
pressed for time.
What's the difference between Dominican Republic and Dominica? 2 different places.
It is?
I think so.
And sometimes, Doug, you are pressed for time with some things.
Yeah, some things I am, yeah. But not when it
Number
comes to
2.
the Dominican Republic.
Well,
2 separate
some people
places.
want to call it. Some people want to call it DR. Some people want to call it Dominican Republic. To each their own.
Okay, I agree
Anyway,
with that.
back to the countries. Number 2, Canada. Number 1, United States of America.
Sick. So good.
Okay.
So feels so good.
That was quite a list, Larry.
Thank you, Doug.
You've been doing your research and your homework, haven't you?
That's why the Florida Keys appeared. Larry, God bless you, and God bless these United States of America.
God bless America.
There he is, Larry Nickel. Good news, DraftKings Cal is on the line. The Steve Schmidt Kia North Carolina.
Before we get to that, bravo
going
to
on?
Jackson.
What's going on? We
He's
have breaking
naming the callers now. I see names instead of just numbers on The line?
Bravo to Jackson.
That's killer.
Nice.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
Yeah. When they have a bunch of callers on the line, it's easier for Plowsy.
Yeah, how about that?
Okay.
This show is advancing again.
How many callers you got on the line?
We did have Mr. Fix, but he
I'm not
dropped.
upset he left, to be honest with you.
Too bad. Just.
But we do have Cal on line.
Yes, DraftKings Cal.
Oh, Cal. Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Pick up the energy a little bit.
Hello.
Do you guys still need a sixth guy for Wednesday?
Nope. No, we do not.
Is it this Wednesday? Is it tomorrow?
No, it's
8 days. It's penciled in.
Yeah, I thought it was next week.
You don't need a sixth guy?
No, we don't. No, we don't. But thanks for asking.
Okay. I'm going to be in town. I would like to address this whole situation. I haven't listened yet this morning, so I don't know if you guys have talked about it again. But you guys have a chance at this. Like I played in a scramble a few weeks ago, and we weren't playing with guys that are that good, and we shot 12 under, and it was a pretty difficult course. Like you guys can totally do this. I mean, you're going to get waxed, but there's a chance.
I think the tip game, is the deciding factor. We're playing from the tips and Nagel's home course. I think those two are. I think the putts we actually may do a lot better than people think. But it's the off the tee is what I'm.
It's pretty simple. If we play the white tees and he played the blue tees, we win.
You don't know that.
Playing the tips, we lose.
You don't know any of that.
We win in that
No, you don't.
I mean, like, I know that, the Barstool Kevin Kistner thing has been referenced, but like Jackson said, there's a ton of other shows that are doing this kind of thing now. And most times, the scramble group wins. And, like, the Barstool guys aren't that good. Like, Frankie might be a 5, Jackson, but I don't know. That's a little. And Riggs, a 3, that's a little I'm not really sure how accurate that is.
Doug, do you feel like Frankie's not a 5 and Riggs isn't a 3?
I'm not sure how accurate that is.
Well, based on watching, I've watched a lot of their content, and Jackson can attest. It's a little. I don't want to put words in your mouth, Jackson. It's a little sketchy. I don't know.
What do you mean by sketchy?
I just don't think they're that good. Like, their numbers might be 3s and 5s, but they rarely hit it in the fairway. They rarely hit a green. Like, between the 5 of them, they're just not very good. And a lot of their hero shots come from Trent, and he's like a 20. Which is like the whole, fodder of the series or whatever. But anyway, why are you guys playing at his home course? It
Okay,
seems like
don't scold us for where we're playing or when we're playing. We will play when and where we want.
I want to play Meadowbrook because it's a course I'll never play again, and I'm excited. But yes, it's certainly more of a disadvantage for.
Just makes the win all that much sweeter, Doug, to go into his home course, guy who played in the U.S. Open this year, and just humiliate him.
Just rub his nose in it a little bit. Yep. Yeah.
Do you guys think you have a better chance at Normandy?
The easier the course, the better chance we would have.
I don't think Normandy's that easy.
He's on his phone. We apologize, DraftKings Cal.
I got a message that I look at my DMs and it
Well, a lot of us get messages, but we don't crank up the volume.
I don't. It had a video, and the video just played. You saw me turn my phone down when I got in here.
Well,
Iggy, can I ask something?
Sure.
So why don't you? So there's this feature on your phone where you have a reoccurring alarm.
Don't tell me how to do it. I don't care. Because then something else may get turned off, like my alarm in the morning may get turned off.
No, it
Notifications
won't.
may get turned off.
No, your 21-year-old boss can help you with this.
Oh,
no. You go to like reoccurring alarms, and you can just set a reminder every day. It's really easy.
Well, so turn it off 99% of the time, so I don't need a reminder that at the one time I'm
going to take the under.
I think I'll take a little bit.
Why do we talk about it every day if it's 99%
Who's
of the time?
we?
That would mean 99
Who's
out of
we?
100
You haven't called in like 8 months. Who's we?
Do you know how many people listen to this show that don't call in?
6.
Don't have a number on
99
that.
out of 100.
All right, well,
99 out of 100.
Right, Go ahead.
If we took the last 100 days in a row, your phone would have gone off like 35 of those days.
No, you're wrong.
Okay, well, that'll wrap it up, I guess.
That's a good.
Somebody was texting and asking if Meadowbrook would allow a gallery, and here are some of the things that have been discussed. But again, I hesitate, but only because it's 8 days away. I expedite it. There is talk of allowing a gallery. There are members who want to watch.
Really?
Nagel is talking about doing a seminar. They're talking about having drinks available. Now, I realize this is going to be at 12:30 on a Wednesday, and many people will be working, but nonetheless.
And many won't.
And many won't. And obviously, we will have the production crew from Hubbard with a minimum of 2 cameras following for those who are not able to watch. And the reason for Meadowbrook DraftKings Cal, which I think is a very fair question, is if they do agree to it, and we want to tie in a charity for the event, as does Meadowbrook, and so that allows us to have kind of a few holes of, berth for, traffic, so to speak. You go out in a public course, they got to kind of shut it down for a number of holes, and that can reduce their revenue that day. So it was just easier to go about it this way. But it's not 100% done yet, so I just want to make sure that is clear. But Chris has talked with some people at Meadowbrook.
Can I come out on Wednesday?
No,
Sure.
you cannot.
Oh,
come
he
out.
is not allowed? I didn't know
No.
he's not allowed on the ground.
No, we like Cal.
I'm going to be in town, though.
Well, if it's open to the public and we have that done, you can come out. If not, you can't.
But you're not playing.
Well, it sounds like y'all need help off
We
the
don't need that much help.
How's your driving accuracy?
I think I would be a decent help to y'all. I really do, especially based on the excitement and the confidence level of the three schleppers in the studio.
Well, if we were going to get a listener to help, we'd pick Wellington.
Wellington's going to be on the other side.
Now we get Guy.
Is Guy real?
Yes.
No, we make him up.
He is real.
A lot of people thought Gino the engineer was made up also.
Yeah. Okay, then.
This whole somebody needs to take control of this fixed lick situation.
What's the situation with Fix and Licks? Mr. Licks is texting in. He's a big fan of yours.
I'm a big licks guy too. I really like licks, but the fix thing is just it's borderline sad. Like I get sad when he calls in. I really
What
do.
makes you sad, DraftKings Cal?
Well, it's like he's doing his own show, and like nobody else is in on it.
Oh, and Fix isn't?
Are we talking about Fix or Licks doing
Both
it?
of them. Both of them think they have their own show.
I think Licks is funny. I like Licks.
Licks is very critical of Pepper and Genie, and that's made him sideways with a couple members of the dais.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah,
I kind of agree.
It's a blast.
Big Pepper and Genie guy, though. You guys need to give us the ability to watch on the stream and also call in during the show.
I think they're watching on the stream. I don't know.
You're talking about Pepper and Genie.
I would have to access YouTube, but I'm not for sure if our YouTube channel would want like a Pepper and Genie video on that. I don't know. It's
How do
something we could
find out
think
for
about.
sure?
Yeah.
Doug, how do we find out?
'Cause I think that would be so fun. Doug, you should be on there more too. I think that adds another little.
Would you like to add something to your plate for no money?
You got a call? You got a call to take
I
whatever?
am so pressed for time, except when it comes to the Dominican Republic.
Well, I'll be at the Blues home opener on Saturday, so I'll swing by and say what's up.
Oh, hockey starts this Saturday?
Who are you going to?
Ooh, Jackson, say that at 10 o'clock.
Who are you going to stop by and say hi to?
It would have been news to me.
Oh,
Thank you,
no.
Jackson. Didn't know.
And you're giving the updates. In St. Louis.
Talked about Tyler Hero yesterday.
Where we have only 2 clubs. And we're talking about Tyler Hero. Good luck to
Yeah,
you.
should
in
be
this
good.
business.
All right. Well,
All right, Cal.
We've run out of steam here, but I'm down to it.
You ran out of steam. We had some steam going until you called with your slowpoke delivery.
If you want me to poke one out there, 310, give me a ring.
You can't hit him that far. You can't hit him.
See him.
Okay, put him down. Put him down. Put him down.
The whole call was him trying to get into this 5-something and play.
Guys, Man Bun Cal saying Mr. Fix needs to change his call in is like Iggy questioning someone's work ethic. It loses some credibility. That's from Flip Wilson. Cal is as bad as Fix, Licks, and any others in the Dix family.
Oh.
Stick with caller Adam and Stephen Wildwood. Go fetch yourself some monkeypox down there in the homeless district in Austin, you wretched, wretched dildo.
Oh,
That's for my
gosh.
shade, my balls, you ever for this? You ever...
Oh.
Good morning, morons. The Blues home opener is until the 15th.
I'm going to say it seemed like it was
haven't
really
checked.
quick. Like,
It's Saturday the 15th, right?
oh, I thought he meant this Saturday. I'm like, geez.
Saturday the 15th.
Yeah, but he'll be there Wednesday for the opener.
Did you see the Blues have coming out with their own Hall of Fame now? Like
Yeah, we had Kerber on yesterday afternoon talking about it.
Yeah.
He's going to be on again on Balloon Party talking about it. So the 8 retired numbers are in, and then Dan Kelly and the original owner, Sid Solomon.
Those are automatic.
Those are the 10 who are in automatically. I think Gusarov will be in.
I don't think so.
But okay.
I have a media vote. They gave me a media vote.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, that Dan Caesar article, they think you're coming back.
Yeah, well, I'm here. This is media.
Is Grant Fuhr in it?
He's not. You can only vote for 3 this time. I voted for Gary Younger, Mike Liut, and Joel Quenneville. Quenneville's the all-time winningest coach. Liut holds most of the goaltending records, career records, and Unger's right up there behind Federico and Hall for a lot of
Kerber was on
offensive
board with the
numbers.
Younger play. He had 2 different. He had Steen, and I can't remember who his third was.
Glenn Hall would
Glenn Hall,
be a
that's who it was.
possibility.
That's who it was. And you
Yeah.
called him Mr. Goalie
Mr.
during
Goalie,
Caden
called
Cross Foot Fetish Friday segment.
Yeah.
Quenneville's won 3 cups with the Blackhawks. Tough for me to have him be.
But he's also the Blues' winningest coach ever.
It's true. You can't deny that. It just there's a sting there watching him win all those cups.
Yeah. Well,
it's this
Larussa's
Saturday
in
is-
the Cardinals, and he won
With
other
the A's.
places.
That's true.
So the 8 are in are the ones that are in the
His numbers
Hockey Hall
retired.
of Fame or
Mhm.
retired
Their numbers are retired.
Okay.
This Saturday is a preseason game. I hope that tool who just called in is going and thought he was going to the opener. That's from Mrs. Danny.
Spent $150 on his ticket.
Lines will look so much different.
And what do you mean when he says, I'll be at the home opener, I'll stop by and say hi? To who?
He thinks we're doing a show here on Saturday. He's going to come in. I don't know. Maybe he thinks
I
he's
Have you ever come in
Friday.
on Saturday just to get some work in and,
Sure, yeah.
protect your craft?
I try to be the first one here and the last one to leave, and sometimes I'm still here on Saturday.
I
after
got a
the
lot of
Friday
Saturdays
show.
ahead of me renaming 15,000 drops.
You
So
and
I'll
Ray
be-
King and his $5,000.
I've
Lay
probably
it
been here
down
3
right
times.
here.
3 times on a Saturday I've been in.
Tervis Paris says Q also overlooked a whole sexual assault thing. Maybe he shouldn't go in. That's from Tervis Paris.
No, that wasn't here.
What about Gus Kyle?
Well, I
believe
think
he's not listed as one of the options this year. Right?
I like
you
this.
don't. They didn't give us options. You
Oh,
just
really?
voted, huh?
Oh, wow. When I went to the Blues website, there's a list
Oh,
of
maybe
guys.
they're taking fan votes too, so maybe they gave fans an
Great.
Cal has just said, Saturday the 15th, you morons, and the listeners can swing by and say hey to me at Enterprise. Turn your phone off, Grandpa. That's from DraftKings Cal.
Yeah, well, nobody knows what you look like, so.
I just wish Alex Steen was more like personable. He seemed kind of grouchy and grumpy. Great team guy, and I did love Alex Steen. This is the one hockey jersey I own is a Steener jersey. But man,
There's so many older players.
call
that
me
you could-
Alexander.
Yeah, there's so many older players that you could put in before the guys that are still playing.
Correct. Yeah. Oh yeah. And guys I've never heard of more than likely.
Yeah.
I mean, Backus will eventually be in. I think that's right.
Probably. Yeah, if they do it every year and they put another 2 or 3 guys in every year, you'll get around to the David Beckham.
Jackman's got to be.
Is it going to get awkward like the Cardinal Hall of Fame?
What's awkward about it?
Where there's too many?
Right.
Yeah, where there's one every year to where.
Well, it's
Oh,
a
it's
good.
more than one.
It's a good marketing thing. They'll have a party around it every year and
Yeah, but
make
if
it a night before a game. And
If I have a red jacket and I'm, Jimmy Ball game getting gold gloves, and then I see Taguchi getting one because
he
they
doesn't
need,
have one.
because they need to just hand them out like it's candy on Halloween. I don't know if I would feel like the red jacket is a special.
Oh, I think those players love being in that Hall of Fame. They absolutely love it.
I would put Glenn Hall in, Gary Younger, Noel Picard.
Well, I don't know if Picard was ever a great player. He was a policeman, a tough guy.
And Dimitri's
Rugged Al Arbor was a better defenseman than Noel Picard going way back then.
Dimitri's number's retired, right? 38.
Is it? I don't know.
He would be a good.
Yeah, he'd be up there. Red Berenson probably be up there.
It's really cool. I'm curious to what their I wouldn't say shtick, but obviously red jackets for the Cardinals. I'm curious to.
How about a blue jacket?
Is it going to be that standard? I was hoping something
not?
better than that, but yeah, I guess I could see that.
That's a fun thing.
Well, Beer Cats has issued a statement. Good morning, guys. I can't listen live this week. I'm in California for training.
Stop. Just stop.
What's he training for?
Who knew 4 days were needed to marry ketchup and clean tables? With that said, Iggy, shut up. Whatever you just said, we've heard 5 times. It's most likely a lie and we don't care. And turn off your damn phone. That's from Beer Cats.
Oh.
So, are they learning how to marry ketchup from, In-N-Out?
Well, there are
Going in and out. I don't like the fries there.
I don't either.
There are different size ketchup bottles. So if you think it's a one-size-fits-all ketchup marrying operation, you're just sadly mistaken. It does require 4 days on the West Coast.
Can you imagine corporate training for marrying ketchup? It's like a big vegan convention.
It'd be cheaper just to buy new ketchup and to fly everybody out to San Diego and put them up for 4 nights.
1,000 empty bottles of ketchup and fill it that way.
We have two new shirts and hoodies.
Yeah, I did see that.
This is another one created. This was created by Mike Flanagan's staff. It's a takeoff on a Beatles album. Or is it a Beatles T-shirt, Jackson?
I saw it was a T-shirt.
T-shirt. And Doug, the name of the Beatles, of course, Darnell Coles, Sasha Havanoff,
Bo Hart.
And Bo Hart.
Yeah, those were the Beatles?
That's correct.
How are you?
So it's just a
Sex
big
Beatles.
Prince shirt with Paul, John, George, and Ringo, and I don't know what the order was. And so Flanagan and his staff created Yachty, Wayno, and Albert T-shirt that is in hoodie and in T-shirt, especially since it's going to be cooler this weekend. Those are now available, and those are all on the TMA STL social media channels. And everything is 10% off at TMASTLshop.com. It's available in powder blue and in red. And then the Trick or Treat Bitches is up there at TMASTLshop.com as well. That's available in T-shirts and hoodies and orange or black.
I want that orange hoodie.
Yeah,
It's a sharp look. Ricky Fowler's going to be wearing that someday on a Sunday.
It's our first piece of orange merch.
Larry Thornton says that Albert, Wayno, and Yachty is insane cool. Great work. Well, that credit goes to...
The red hoodie.
It's a
looks
sharp
the
look.
best in. Yeah,
That is a sharp
that's
look.
Very killer. But I have to say, the hoodies in the It's Brutal and the hoodie orange in the Trick or Treat are like the two best merch items I've seen.
Yeah. I need an XL, though.
Just
I like my sweatshirt. It's really baggy.
Kind of an angry picture of you on there. That
Yeah,
Trick or
I don't know. It's Tim's drop. Why is my face on there?
I think it works well.
It does.
They call you like the Grim Reaper and the Crypt Keeper. I just think it's fun and the Jack-o'-lantern and the pumpkin.
That is a fair question, though.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not even him saying it.
Can I get an
Doug, we got to get Peter Rep on the line.
It seems like something more that you would have said, I think.
Well, I didn't say it, though.
I know, but it seems like you would have.
Wonder why the hell I said it.
I don't know, but it's my favorite drop.
I think that,
Of course it is.
and I think with the Halloween theme, and I don't agree with this, but there are some listeners who might call you pumpkin face.
Yeah, jack-o'-lantern.
And the black one especially looks like someone carved a pumpkin like with eye holes and stuff.
Trick or treat, bitches.
Right there.
Oh, there it is.
And like put a dart in there.
Guys, good morning. Beer Cats is clearly the most miserable listener of the show. Thanks, it's from Trillside.
Yeah, you're right. Can I
I didn't even see the dart.
Can I get an XL and I'll write you a check, Jackson?
Just get you an XL. You don't need to write a check.
Because I
told you last week we're getting all these stuff. Just
Oh,
pick it
really?
out. Yeah.
Dude.
I didn't know we were picking them up.
Orange Trick or
Just
Treat
gotta-
hoodie.
well, Mike's got to ship them from Salt Lake City.
Oh.
Well,
Is
there's
he still
mine.
in Salt Lake City, or were you saying he was moving?
Ogden, I think.
Ogden. Doug, Ogden. Do you say Ogden or Ogden?
I say Ogden.
I think I wear a small in the hoodies, Mike, just letting you know.
I'm tired of Doug correcting how I say things.
What's
Like
Ogden,
Bengals.
Utah?
Ogden.
Yes.
What did I say before?
Ogden.
I didn't say Des.
You said Ogden, like
Okay,
that.
there you go.
What about Aborigine?
Well, you said that correctly.
Plowek, I just saw on your Twitter timeline, Bill Straub is going into the Hall of Fame in Nebraska. And it popped up on my... I go,
about
what in
time."
God's name is this? I thought it was like a Brazzers skit. And no, it's Bill Straub. And he has a tall drink of water. And
Is he?
he's
Look at what he's
dressed like a
wearing.
law officer from like the 1880s.
Look at what he's wearing, dude.
Oh, he's a lawman.
He's like a marshal.
It's Wyatt Earp.
Straubs is an absolute goat.
Plowsy, will you make that your Twitter profile again?
I'm already doing it. I zoomed in on the
He
one
looks
where
like Colonel Sanders.
He looks like he's taking a poop, the one by himself.
This is the bowling coach?
The Nebraska women's bowling coach.
I do like that this
They're
is the brutal
retiring
one.
his number or something. I don't know what number you have as the bowling coach, but he is number one.
Yeah, I don't know what took him so long to get in.
He must have had some good tips on picking splits.
Didn't do much on the PBA tour, but he's a good coach.
Oh, did he make the PBA?
Oh, is that
tour?
right?
Yeah, he bowled on the tour.
You didn't get there, did you?
I bowled some tournaments.
You didn't get in the Pro Bowlers Tour.
Well, I did.
You were a professional bowler.
It didn't take much back then to get a PBA card. You had to have a 200 average for 2 years, and you got a PBA card.
So what tournaments did you bowl in on the professional
I
side?
bowled the Rolaids here a couple of times in King Louis.
Yeah, they could be the
Never
best profile.
cashed.
So you're a former professional athlete.
I wouldn't go that far, no.
Well, if you're
Anybody could get a PBA card if you had a 200 average for 2 years.
I don't mean just a card. I mean a touring
Well,
pro.
if I got a card, I can bowl. I could get a card right now on the PBA tour.
If the PBA Tour
All you
have
can do
a
is
lip
pay
tour?
for one.
But that doesn't put you in the tournaments with
If
the
I have a
top
PBA
pros.
card, I can go bowl in a tournament.
You got to pay for it?
Yeah.
How much?
I don't know.
Doug, you know what we need is a Saudi-backed bowling league.
We
That's
sure
not a bad idea.
do.
Live bowling. All right, Iggy, would you join us for $8 million?
You could be the Greg Norman of it.
Yeah, you could actually be, the overseer.
Would you quit this show to go and bowl for $1 million?
There's $1 million a year. I would tell you to do it.
Is that a question?
Yeah, I would tell you to do it immediately.
Yeah, I think so.
You'd quit?
Well, for $1 million?
I don't know. I'm disappointed in you now.
I love doing this show, but $1 million, I'd say I'm retiring.
Would you?
Be emotional.
I wouldn't take the millie.
No,
Well, not at
not
your
when
age.
journalism was our calling.
Not at
I
your
went to
age.
school for this. I need to write it out.
Play it out. Thing seems to be working really well.
Yeah.
I might rethink that, though. I'd only get like $500,000 out of it.
Why?
Yeah, but you could retire with your age, right? That's the key.
Why would you only get $500,000?
Well, government gets half.
Well, you're paying taxes now too.
Yeah.
You know what the scam is? Like, Missouri has a 40% tax rate on, like, bonus checks. Did you know that?
No.
Or at the other place I worked, a lot of my compensation was in bonuses. But it'll be in a separate check, and it's taxed 40%. So let's say your bonus was going to be $2,000. Not so much. Like, it's pretty bad. I didn't know that about the state of Missouri.
Either.
Yeah. Fun fact, though.
Is it because there's no taxes originally taken out of the bonus?
You know, it could be the case, but still, that's not the. Seems a little excessive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew.
I would think it would just be figured as income, regular compensation.
I don't know why that is. I thought that was a little fun fact that not many people may know.
Well, Mark Milton would have the answer to that.
Absolutely, dude. You go to him regardless.
And all these listeners who are so rich and want me off the air, off
Well.
the show, just pony up $1 million.
So you can go bowling.
Who's gonna go fun?
Buyout. It's like he's Paul Christ.
Buyout, yeah.
In cash.
Yes, go ahead.
It's gonna be
Pony
cash.
up $1 million, and I'll
Deliver it
leave.
behind the dumpster here by the parking garage, and
Couple duffel bags.
yeah.
And you'll go kegling.
No, I'll just retire.
So if you'd like to do that, you can meet by the dumpster. If you'd like to text in, it's 314-881-TMA5. Engineered Design Facilities can handle all of your company's security and surveillance needs, from surveillance cameras to access card readers to facial recognition software and everything in between. EDF's Fire Division is now testing, inspecting, and maintaining the fire system on all commercial kitchen and restaurant hoods. If you have visibility to your company or place of business's commercial fire alarm panel and system, please email fire@edf-rg.com. Allow the technician come out and provide a free evaluation of your system and offer the most competitive contract pricing in the market. You can also check them out anytime at edf-rg.com. That's Engineered Designed Facilities, edf-rg.com. The area James Carlton's team is having the most impact for our TMA listeners when it comes to car insurance is households with teenage drivers. If any of the listeners have drivers in their home that's under 25, James's team would love the opportunity to see how much they can help you out. 314.
You're right over there, Slick.
There was no water left, just ice. So
All right.
Tipped, sorry, Tim.
Go ahead, Tim.
Just the tip.
Sorry, James.
314-961-4800. I received this email yesterday, Doug. It comes from David Peters.
Oh, it's Pizzi.
Tim, I've been listening for 10 plus years. I have 4 cars and 2 teenage drivers and had nationwide insurance and felt like I was paying too much. I switched to James Carlton, and for the same coverage, I am paying $150 less a month. That is tangible savings. I worked with Mike over at James Carlton's office, and they made switching super easy. When I called the cancel nationwide, I was on hold for 47 minutes. It's a night and day difference. That's from David Peters. So if you have teenage drivers, that's what James talks about. He's saving a lot of money for our audience. 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton State Farm. Send your emails in for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. Comes your way in a half hour. Coming up on Balloon Party at 10 o'clock on 101 ESPN. Chris Kerber will join us, plus a scathing column regarding Tony Larussa from Buster Olney. Oh, you read that, Plowek?
I did. Man.
Buster Olney doesn't like Tony.
Yeah,
now?
well, we'll have that for you here, and then also discuss it coming up on Balloon Party. Your emails, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Ryan Kelly. Now, I have already done business, both refinancing and getting pre-approved with Ryan Kelly, and it was so easy at thehomeloanexpert.com, both processes, and it was so fast. But now, you're going to make it even faster?
We're so fast. It's like Flash, you know. I don't know if you know.
I do know. I have those toys thrown at
your
me, so I'm
son's
aware
into
of
that
them.
yet.
Yes.
Yeah, mine is for sure. And Flash, that's how fast we are. And we're super excited to be rolling out our 10-day closing guarantee. 10-day closing guarantee. I got to say that a little faster. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, we can take your refinance or your home purchase to the closing table in 10 days or less. We have a guarantee on that, and we will pay you if we can't. That's how fast we are.
Wow.
But think about this. If you're trying to buy a house, that's how you get a leg up on the competition. You tell those sellers, I am ready to close in 10 days. If you're ready to pull that equity out and do a cash out refinance, we can have you the cash in your bank account by the end of the month. Got questions? Ready to get pre-approved? Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago, and they still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
Hey, it's Jackson for Rosalitas. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled-high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 7, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
There's a lot of common sense and Western wisdom like don't squat with your spurs on and always drink upstream from the herd. And there's also some Western wisdom that's less common, like never steal from a bear, which you can't make for yourself, or a man doesn't know his worth until he's eye to eye with a rattlesnake holding a toad. I'm sure there's a good lesson in there somewhere, but there's one lesson that is perfectly clear. Fistful of Bourbon is an award-winning blend of 5 straight bourbons and as smooth as a banker on Friday. Get wise, pick up a bottle a day. Don't be a damn fool. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by William Grant & Sons, New York, New York.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Check out listener rewards on the new TMA mobile app. Watch the show live on the TMA studio cams. Find it at TMASTL.com. Get the podcast on the TMA app. Download it now.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Butter me up, Daddy.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Halloween, go grab a seat or your favorite mask.
Sounds like it would be on like the Dahmer ducks.
Yeah. It moves a little too quickly. It's a little too uplifting and positive.
Around the corner of every street. It's Halloween. It's time to scare the pants off your friends. It's Halloween. It's time to collect strangers' candy. It's Halloween. It's time to do some pumpkin carving. What are you going to be for Halloween?
Doug right here is
Oh, that's
haunting.
haunting. Yeah, it is.
This is how ghosts have orgasms.
Is that really it?
But it sounds like this.
Very deliberate. It's the Ryan Kelly morning after. I always enjoy when my son, watching music videos on YouTube, requests that one.
He does request
He
that?
does request
Got a
that.
good case of music.
Yeah.
Get him a
He
piano.
is obsessed with Halloween. It just turning 5 years old.
What's he going to be this year?
Well, for school purposes, something more benign, but like the headless skeleton or something like that for his real. It's it's caught me and my wife a little off guards.
Because
Really.
that's what he wanted? He came
No,
up
just
with
that
that
he
on his
like
own?
loves Jason Voorhees of Friday the 13th and Michael Myers, even though he's never seen the pictures. I don't know where this has come from. I'm not really into it. My wife's not really into it.
No.
I don't know how to explain it, but yes, we watch It's Halloween Time by Acoustic Sessions every week, and wow, what a production that video is.
Yeah, I bet.
It is. It is the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. Send your emails in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Comes your way in about 23 minutes. Jackson and I will be with you on Balloon Party on 101 ESPN at 11 o'clock, and then at 12:30, Mark Bonavani will be in for my podcast. And then, Doug, I think we have a sales meeting at 2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm probably going to work on compressing the golf ball at about 3:15.
Okay.
I think that's kind of it. What do you got going?
All right.
Going to family golf?
Oh, yeah, not much today.
It's a good call if you do go to family
Ball
golf.
around a little bit, probably.
Yeah. It's time to get some work in, isn't it?
Mhm.
Going to be ball striking in Tampa?
Yes. Yes. Playing Friday.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. It's supposed to be mid-80s down there.
Bless.
So, yeah.
You going to hang out with Patty Maroon and Tom Brady? And
I
Blake
don't
Everett?
think so. I don't think so.
Dilly and Keisha and your son in a foursome?
I don't think so.
And then play golf.
No. No. I'll not be looking up any porn stars while I'm there. I hadn't planned on it.
Doug, Trish Wolf of sponsor here on the program.
Sorry.
Wolfpack is on the Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone lines. Good morning, Trish.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Good to talk to you again.
Always good to talk with you. What do you think? What's going on here with interest rates going up? People are going. You know what? All of a sudden, things have changed a little bit with the real estate market. What is your expert analysis?
Yeah, last week I heard you guys talking about rent and, rents going up around the country and stuff. And, everybody's been also talking about with this past market for real estate over the past couple of years, all the multiple offers driving those prices up. But rent is also doing the same thing. I had a client who decided to rent just because the buyer's market was just so competitive. And she'd go to put an application in for rent, and there would be multiple applications, and people were like outbidding each other for monthly rent.
Wow.
So rent is also doing the same thing around the St. Louis metro area, as it probably is around the country. But, yeah, it's tough all over because, when these buyers can't buy houses due to a lack of inventory, the buyers go to rent. And so, yeah, the rental market is equally, if not more, difficult and on the rise. So, yeah, I think it boils down to there's a lot of economic reasons, of course. It all starts back in 2008. I won't give you the history. But, yeah, we need inventory. People need to sell their houses because there's just so many buyers out there. Interest rates have slowed things down because the buyers are kind of, getting a little squirrely. They're taking a knee for a minute. But, if interest rates keep going up, they'll wish they would have gotten in now while they could. So it's, you can always refinance down the road, but one thing's for sure, interest rates aren't really, you're never sure what those are going to do, but home prices continue to rise even as, things shift. The rise in prices are slowing down a little bit, but they're still rising. So, you need a good strategy. That's why, you need a good realtor. They should call us.
As a realtor, what would you advise people to do the best way to get their house ready for the market? Best way to get the most money out of their house?
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people waste a lot of money doing improvements that aren't necessary. We've got some good strategies, but one of the easiest thing you can do is just clean up and declutter. You want good curb appeal as people are walking up to the front door. First of all, just clean off all the cobwebs. I know it's Halloween, but clean off the cobwebs. Give everything a good power washing. Put out some nice mums this time of year. New doormat. Inside the house, fresh paint goes a really long way. And when you do paint, that kind of forces you to declutter the house and take everything off the walls. So, that's always where I start, is the simpler things, because the big ticket items don't always get you your money back. If you're planning on refinishing your basement or, putting in a new kitchen, that's not necessarily going to get you your money back. You need strategic ways to make some small improvements that will just make the house more clean and more appealing, and start with the smaller things there.
That's Trish Wolf with the Wolf Pack. Trish, how can our listeners find you?
Yeah, well, they can find me on my Facebook page if they want to know more about the interest rates and economy at Trish Wolf Realtor. But TrishWolf.com is where you can find us online, or you can give us a call at 314-807-WOLF.
There it is. Thank you, Trish.
Thanks, you guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you.
Trish Wolf with the Wolf Pack. You're welcome to text in 314-881-TMA5. That's the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox, or email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. I deep teased Buster Olney this morning with a column on ESPN.com. Very critical of Tony Larussa. Plowhawk, you read it this morning, and I was reading it as well, and this is what he wrote. Executives from with other teams speculated Monday afternoon within the White Sox front office there was great relief about Larussa's departure because the team remains talented and within its theoretical window of competing. Quote, Tony was never their guy. He was Jerry Reinsdorf's guy, and everybody was doing the best they could, one executive said. It'll take some time before the haze generated by Larussa's 2-year stint as White Sox manager drifts away, allowing more clarity about all that he accomplished. So what Olney's opinion is that Larussa damaged his legacy by his 2 seasons in Chicago, and I just don't.
I don't get it.
I really don't see it. I mean, I know Michael Jordan is in a separate category, but I don't go, man, Jordan ruined it by going to the Wizards. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know who would see it that way. He kind of had a rather low profile, I think, nationally over the last couple of years because the White Sox weren't really a factor much. I'm not sure most baseball fans paid much attention to him at all in Chicago.
I just don't get. He was 93-69 in 2021, 80-80 this year. I mean, it's not like he had a 40-win season and just complete. I mean, it's a tough division. He made some questionable decisions. Got mad at one of his players for hitting a home run in a blowout game. I remember that, but for the most part, I don't get what the beef was. Yeah, the fans can hate him, but nobody cares about the fans in terms of like hiring and firing. It's really should be a moot point. I just don't get it. I thought, it wasn't the best 2-year stint, but I mean, he almost won 100 games last year. I don't get it.
He finishes the column by saying there will be more time for these kinds of conversations, and I'll tell you what the conversation is. Now about a Hall of Fame career, one that should be remembered by his 37 years as manager, and not just the last 2 with the White Sox. So he writes about a couple of things. The 2-for-1. Red Sox manager Alex Cora played against Larussa, and he said, we all knew he was prepared, and we all knew about the 2-for-1. Doug, do you know what the 2-for-1 is?
I'm forgetting what the 2-for-1
2-for-1 translated the understanding that if a pitcher hit one of Larussa's players with a pitch, then the Cardinals would hit 2 of the other team's players, whether or not the original offense was intentional. The hit batsman, retaliation, and intimidation were at the core of a long, difficult relationship between Larussa and Dusty Baker, who played for Larussa briefly in Oakland before becoming a manager. Their teams would share many on-field bench-clearing incidents, with batters getting hit and punches being thrown. After years of silence, I didn't know that they had years of silence. After years of silence, Baker recalled earlier this summer the 2 men finally spoke while standing at adjacent urinals at the 2014 funeral of beloved teammate Bob Welch. Larussa wrote, Baker a letter of respect and collegiality after Baker's Astros knocked out Larussa's White Sox last fall. Baker acknowledged that after a nudge from Melissa Baker, his wife, the man, quote, is trying, she said to Dusty. He called Larussa back. So they hadn't talked. I remember in 2003 they were screaming at each other in the dugouts at Wrigley Field. I don't know if it carried on all that long.
I think there's probably numerous incidents where players in the game, managers in the game, been around a long time, just don't like somebody on the other side. I don't know how uncommon that would be. These were two managerial icons, so it's a little bit more notable. But I'm sure it's not that unusual that there are people you don't talk to, you don't care for, you didn't like him as a player, you don't like him now, and so you just don't talk to him.
I love Buster Olney, but I was really surprised with the article. I mean,
It doesn't sound like he trashed him that much.
It wasn't a trash.
Did you read it?
But
you did.
Yeah.
I'm just going by what you read.
Right. Well, I mean, his whole the first 50 to 60% is about the debacle in Chicago, and then he gets into why he shouldn't be remembered just for Chicago, but that for fans who don't recall his time with the Cardinals. And you got to I mean, Jackson, and you were what, 14 when he left the Cardinals? Is that right?
2011, so I was still 13, but I was going to be 14 in a month or two.
So if you're a White Sox fan in your 20s, you may not remember, you certainly don't remember the A's, of course, and you may not remember his time with the Cardinals. And so, and there were the Fire Tony chants. And what his premise is, that is going to stick with people, but that at the end, you have to appreciate overall what he wound up doing. But that coming back when they didn't want him to be hired outside of Reinsdorf. Reinsdorf fired him in '86 and felt like he really blew it. And so he just wanted to make it right, but he was making it right. What, 34 years later? Is that what he did? 34. Hired him in December. That's
Larussa probably wouldn't have wanted to go back there anytime sooner. He had great teams in Oakland, and he had good teams here. I'm sure he wasn't going to go anywhere.
Well, and it's also like you have a team with a lot of talent that underperformed. That's not always on the manager. Look at what the Cardinals have done with 3 separate managers. Completely, really different team. Maybe Shilton Marmol had very similar teams. They're all the same. They're all the same. I don't know if the importance of coaching and managers of 25 and older dudes really makes a difference. If you're underperforming as a player, it's not because the manager's not putting you in situations. It's just you're not good.
I agree.
I don't get what the managers are basically the reason why players do well and why players slump. It's baseball is so. It's a 162 game season. To blame a manager for not making
I feel like
playoffs.
Strategically, managers can have a bigger impact over the course of a playoff series. Again, the one I always use is Ron Washington against Larussa in 2011, and Washington not being savvy with the National League rules. The Cardinals had such an advantage in the home games, and really, were in a spot to win all 4. They won Game 1 and Game 7 without much of a sweat. They had a lead in the 9th of Game 2, and Game 6 speaks for itself. But he was just outmanaged there, and the Rangers were able to win 2 of 3 in Arlington. And there are other examples of managers from the American League not being as familiar with it. Now everybody's playing by the same rules. I don't know, on the course of a 162-game season, when guys are playing for millions of dollars, if you're not a self-starter and motivated by your own career, which then in turn will usually lead to a team success, I don't know what a 40, 50, 60-year-old or 70 in this case year old person is going to say to get you motivated. You know what I mean? I just don't know.
And also, like, Tim Anderson played 80 games. Eloy Jimenez played 83 games. Mendick, their starting or backup shortstop, played 31 games. I just... How is that his fault? I just don't get why. Like, if people are hurt and people are slumping, and I'm with you on the much more important than what an NFL coach or an NBA coach has. But overall, I mean, he had an above 500 record in 2 seasons, and your players were hurt. He didn't hurt them. I mean, playing the best 9 he has and putting Dylan Cease, had a great 2 years with him. I just. Putting the blame on the manager because you're so desperate for a playoff spot is super weird.
Well, the move was hammered right when he was hired, right away.
True, yeah.
And it was because he was too old, because of DUI issues, because of that Reinsdorf was trying to right a wrong. And, if it's part of being a takesmith. If you frame something one way, you can never admit you're wrong in 2022 or 21 or 20 or 19. And so from the get-go, he had an uphill climb with the media because many in the media had decided he was not the right guy for the job because they liked the idea of the White Sox being this super young, fun club and that they felt like Larussa would snuff that out. Even though Abreu and Tim Anderson were both vocal in their support for him after getting to know him. Guys, my favorite part of the article is when he only said that Larussa and Baker kissed at the urinal.
They didn't kiss. He didn't say that.
Is this accurate? The White Sox didn't have one 20-home run guy or one 80 RBI guy.
Yeah,
like,
it's
you
on the
throw
players.
any manager, you can put Torrey in his prime with an underperforming roster like that, and you're going to come up with an 80-80 record.
And Joe Torre wasn't a good manager here because of his because of the players he had. He had a losing record here. He got fired.
It's all talent. And then he goes to New York. Surprise! Hey, here's a $300 million payroll. Have fun.
Right.
Oh,
now
sweet.
all of a sudden he's a Hall of Famer. Whitey Herzog, I think a lot of people would consider him the best manager in Cardinal history.
Yes.
He had years of 79 and 83, 79, 82, 33 and 47 before he was fired. It happens. You got the players, you win. You don't have the players, you don't win.
Now, one with 20 home runs. That's.
Did he get fired? I thought he just quit.
He retired, but
he quit in the middle of the season.
Are you talking about Larussa or are you talking about Whitey?
Herzog.
Okay.
I would like to know, because they weren't talking, one of the guys had to walk up right next to him and start taking a leak next to him.
Doug, who stood next to who at the urinal?
Yeah, so who made
Somebody-
the move to go next to him and start talking?
I don't know.
People
All this
love when you
bathroom
stand right
chatter.
next to him in urinals.
You think it was a trough situation?
Ooh,
I doubt it.
What
There
a wedding.
aren't that many of those.
I saw that for Roe this weekend.
Your starting catcher had 5 home runs, 27 RBIs in 100 games. Like I just don't see this roster being LaRussa's fault. I know the fans don't like old people, but, I mean, he wasn't a terrible man.
Well, it was a weekend of his first season, and the media were trashing him. I think that whatever the girl on the one afternoon show was actually calling for him to be kicked out of the Hall of Fame.
Oh, really? Who did that?
I don't know. I heard it was like a week or two into the season, and well, he should be kicked out of the Hall of Fame. You went in because you retired. Now you're back. Well, those years don't count. You should be out of the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
like, my God.
It looked for a while this year like the Cardinals weren't going to make the playoffs until Mozeliak went out and got Quintana and Montgomery. And now all of a sudden they win. They're, 8 games up? Is that on the manager? Was it the manager did a good job, or was it the GM that gave you
Who do you think gets the
better
manager of the year in
talent?
the National League?
I mean,
Showalter.
I think it's Showalter,
No
but
problem.
I don't know if that'll be.
Yeah,
covered by the way they faded here.
Yeah, they did fade.
Faded.
So tough, 162 games so long. Like Showalter probably
I
had
actually
the
think it
best
should
year.
be Dave Roberts.
It should be, and
Yeah,
I know they have a
probably.
load
Which
of roster.
sounds counterintuitive because people assume the Dodgers but I mean they've been hammered with pitching injuries. If you give me, I mean I realize it's probably I'd be the favorite in the bet, but I'm talking about betting against a 110 win team. I'll take the field over the Dodgers in the National League, and the field is super strong this year. The field is deep, and by the field I mean the Braves, Mets, Cardinals, Padres, Phillies. I just think the Dodgers have a really tough situation with their pitching and going up against those lineups and the caliber of teams, even though they have had a, comparably speaking to their history, record-breaking season.
I mean, 3 and 5 game series. I mean, literally anything can happen.
The best of 3. I don't. Do you get the sense that Cardinal fans are kind of taking for granted the wild card series?
Yeah, I think a lot of teams do.
The Phillies are.
I wouldn't. Man, I'm telling you.
I'm not sure.
Nola had a perfect game into the 7th inning last night.
God, he's so good.
So I would imagine it'll be Wheeler, Nola, and Suarez would be my guess.
Sick trio.
And the Cardinals, outside of Goldschmidt and Arenado, and Pujols, actually, Pujols starts no matter what, right?
Well, he should. He's the
Absolutely.
best hitter they've
Yeah,
got
I mean,
right
it's-
over the last
that-
couple of
right.
weeks.
Until the end.
That it's like, who else is going to hit? I don't know. I also think so much of the attention over the last month has been on Pujols and the 700 home runs that people just haven't been paying attention to the fact that they haven't been that great.
Yeah, the season could be over Sunday. Or
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time the Tigers walk out of the swamp with a W, the season could be over, Doug.
I think.
Would you trade a
Yeah.
Tiger W for?
Thank you.
No.
For a
It's
what?
poll question. The zoo at the swamp or Cardinals?
Or Plowboy at the vet.
I think
we tease that.
once you realize that you're going to win the division, you're going to be in the playoffs, it'd only be human nature to relax a little bit. Take your foot off the brake, off the gas, just a wee little bit. And you don't have to take it off much before you're losing close games instead of winning them.
And that's the thing. And in 2006 and 2011, they had to bust their ass the entire time to get in, and you saw what happened. But the team I always cite, and I remember, Doug, when we were doing the show in 2009, it was a great team. Wainwright and Carpenter both finished in the top 3 in the Cy Young. You had Pujols, you had Holiday, Ryan Ludwig had a ridiculous year, and they got swept out of the playoffs. And they had a terrible September, and they never flipped it back on. I think their September was worse than the Cardinals was this year. But at the same time, the Cardinals were playing the garbage teams in the National League Central and the Nationals and still had some offensive issues. I don't worry about the pitching as much as I worry about the offense, which sounds weird when you're talking about 2 MVP candidates and a guy who has been hitting better than either of them over the last 3 months, even though he's 42 years old. Because you have to be able to get offense. At least you would think you'll have to be able to get offense from somebody else in the lineup other than those guys. And on top of it, the guys other than Pujols haven't exactly been killing it since September.
And when Albert gets on base, every time I see him run, I think, oh, slow down. Don't get hurt. Don't pop a hammy. Watch your Achilles. He really looks like he's laboring to run.
And all these teams that kind of glide into the playoffs when they know they're going to be making it, and for the Cardinals, they kind of knew what position they were going to be in regardless.
Right. They were the 3 seed for the last 3 weeks.
But with the Pujols thing, I know players will be like, it's just not. That's a lot of, I don't know about pressure, but that's a lot of outside noise and a little bit of drama, and just you're putting a lot of focus on, your teammate hitting this milestone that maybe you do forget to. Look at a sign in the 6th inning or something.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned with how they're playing now in terms of how they're going to play in the playoffs. But offense is, the outfield is so bad in terms of consistent offense. I think that's going to be the issue that you're going to run into.
I would like to tell the people about Family Golf and Learning Center. High schoolers, keep your game sharp with Family Golf's high school winter program. This program meets twice a week for 12 weeks, beginning in November. And ending by mid-February. Sessions are 90 minutes long and meets Mondays and Wednesdays. And parents of tournament golfers, Family Golf is offering a competitive junior coaching program designed to prepare young golfers for competition. The program features weekly one-on-one private lessons with one of Family Golf's top instructors, as well as weekly group practice sessions. Monthly, 6-month, 9-month, or yearly commitments are available. And they have winter simulator leagues as well. Keep your golf game strong this winter with Family Golf Simulator League. 6-week sessions, Monday or Tuesday, with tee times at 5 and 7 p.m. with 3 separate sessions starting in October through March. New courses and formats each week with weekly prizes and skins games. Go to FamilyGolfOnline.com for more information or to sign up. And celebrate all of your college and fantasy teams' Tully touchdowns this weekend with Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. May your team be swift and their aim be true. May the refs be forever in your favor, and your whiskey always. Tullamore Dew. Tullamore Dew, the original triple-blended, triple-distilled, smooth-sipping Irish whiskey made exactly for game day moments like this. When it's game time, it's Tully time, and it's time to think about it.
Okay.
What are you thinking right now?
I'm going to take some time out to think about that.
Nice. Think about what's going on at tmstlshop.com. New merch. It's just sitting there for you.
For real.
Yeah, the people really like these trick-or-treat bitches, and then the Albert, Yachty, and Wayno.
All sharp. So much good Cardinal stuff before the playoffs.
Yeah,
there's so much
hoodie,
of it.
The hoodies when it's going to be colder on Friday and Saturday for the games. And Mike Flanagan said he will ship those things out and do everything he can to get them to you by Friday so you can wear them. And you can wear powder blue and then maybe see if other boys like the powder blue.
I wouldn't do it for the other boys.
Hoodies are my favorite article of clothing.
Why?
100%.
All times. Because they always look good. They're warm enough, but they're not like you can wear it and it's a little bit warm and it's not going to get too hot for you.
It's pretty casual in some settings.
I'm a casual dresser.
We get it, Doug. You're in Channel 4. You need a suit and tie. Not everybody has a 10-year
Doug, you always
deal.
come in sharp, but that's your style, you know.
Yeah, you're Mr. GQ Smooth.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that.
You're one
That's your
minute
drip.
away from always being out on remote on site for a story.
To me, a hoodie looks like you're ready to go out in the driveway and shoot baskets or cut the grass or rake leaves or something. That's what a hoodie's for.
Yeah, but I think that might be like a generational thing, like where like people like my age, like a hoodie at all times is like appropriate dress. And I don't know if that, like you said, like back in the day, like in the 70s, people were wearing suits and ties to Cardinal games.
Yeah, I think that take that Doug just had are the
maybe
same people
60s,
order
60s.
sarsaparillas.
Tervis Parish says in general, hoodies are for the poors. That's from Tervis Parish.
Disagree.
Doug, are they for the poors?
I think so.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I think they're for
Look at how all the billionaires dress when they go to work. They wear just like casual pants and T-shirts.
Well, there's no hoodie.
Or they put a hoodie on.
I don't know that a lot of billionaires are wearing hoodies to work.
I've seen Tiger Woods wear a hoodie a ton of times.
But not usually. On the golf course, he's not wearing a hoodie.
Yeah,
Where else do you see him besides that?
You're talking about Axe from Billions.
That, but like a bunch of billionaires. I've seen pictures of Zuck, Bezos.
With a hoodie on?
Yes.
I haven't. Not at work.
No, I haven't seen that. Maybe it's out there, but I haven't seen it. Not
I
to
don't
say it's
own a-
bad.
I don't own a hoodie.
Wear a hoodie and jeans.
I had one. They gave me a Keishi 55-year anniversary. I don't know where the hell it's at.
You lost it already?
I can't find it.
Ah, for heaven's sakes.
I haven't worn it. I was going to wear it the other day. Where the hell is it?
I don't know. Is it in the laundry? You left it at the laundry, didn't you?
No, I'd never worn it, so I wouldn't wash it.
In your car?
No, can't find it.
That's a bad beat.
I know. Well, I bought
But
two.
you can get another one.
I bought 2 shower curtains because Kohl's had buy one get one free. So I can't find the other shower curtain.
Did you bring it home from the store? You think
Yeah.
it left it up there?
I don't know where it's at.
Well, how many places do you have to store a shower curtain?
Not many. I got 200 square feet.
Well, it should be easy to find.
I didn't even know I had these hedonism panties in a box.
Glad you did.
But I can't.
Oh, those are cardinal red.
I can't find the sweatshirt and I can't find the shower curtain.
But the hedonism panties, that's a go.
Well, I didn't know I had them either.
Okay. You didn't wear them at all, did you, at home?
No, I think they're girl panties.
Ooh, not boy panties.
They look kind of big and they wouldn't fit me.
Doug, it's time for the design, air heating, and cooling email today. Fact check. Setting pins at Redbird Lanes for a summer is not bowling professionally. I know a little bit about bowling, and I vividly remember Bill Straub defeating left-hander Mike Albee to win the 1982 Rolaids Open.
Oh, really?
You know what I don't remember? Ken Strode even being in the vicinity of Dick Weber Lanes that day. But this email is about that moment when you realize you were finally going to get laid.
Oh.
It's like the world around you is completely stopped and inconsequential, and you and your lover are both moving in slow motion as one. For me, that moment was the 1981 Vianney father-son dance.
Oh.
Me and my buddies were all showing off our best moves on the dance floor, trying to get Steven's hot dad's attention. And then it happened. Whilst we were dancing to Shaka Khan's I Feel For You, he grabbed my hand, pulled me into his man hands, embraced and mouthed the words to the song, I Think I Love You, as he bit my ear with a take charge attitude. Yet soft and sensual enough that I got an instant chubby. Embarrassingly, 1 minute later, it was over. I had not yet learned the use of concentration to control my big O. That's from Button is the first name, and the last name
Dick
is
Button?
Jackson.
Oh. But Bhutan ejection. Frenchman.
It is a
Bhutan ejection.
So Steven's dad was hot?
I haven't seen Steven's dad. I don't know.
And didn't Shaka Khan's Feel For You come out more like in 85 than 81?
I don't know the
Am I
years,
right?
Tim. I don't know the years.
Do guys get butt injections? I don't believe so.
I guess you could.
I've never seen any.
Well, didn't that guy in prison go get his breast done?
Yes.
He did.
Become a
Sure
prison
did.
whore. I Feel For You, 1984.
Yeah. So you must have got an early copy of it at the Vianney school.
Slies and Slicks, sup? Iggy said yesterday the emails are embarrassing. Cool, okay. I guess I should take lessons to be more like him and learn to chip that little white ball 15 yards onto the front of the green and claim it was 40 and pin high. What's next? Home run derby at the T-ball field? Big stick, sure. Doug, so much hot. Plowsy, quarterback, please. Tim, pure king. Me, just horny. Sprinkle it, squirt it, and spread it.
Oh.
Get it, got it, flock it, Flocky the Smurf.
Flocky the Smurf.
P.S. Doug, the day's safe word is pancakes.
Okay. Keep
A
that in
haiku.
mind.
Like I said, embarrassing.
hovering above, raisin canes in his tummy. Mud engulfs my throat.
Okay.
That's from the TMA Poet Laureate.
That was it?
I just read what's in the prompt.
It's a haiku.
I
Can't
read the
go
filtered
anymore.
file. Jackson puts it in the filtered file, it gets read. If it doesn't get in the filtered file, it doesn't get read. See, there's 40 sitting in the unfiltered file.
They're 50-50 balls, and I don't take chances.
Doug, we are on the side of caution.
Right.
Yeah.
And finally, good morning. I recently got turned on to your show as some of my bros told me you guys like to talk about things I'm interested in. Tiger football, wings, gay sex. But this email is about you guys bashing weightlifting bros. As a representative of the bro community, I'm not going to idly stand by and listen to you make fun of our incessant picture posting of our gains. So what if we like to keep ourselves fit and active in the gym community? And who cares if we like to post pictures of our throbbing muscles with the veins popping out? So what of it that we work out together and hold each other's bodies for tight support and closeness? Gym bros for life is what I say. What's the big deal if we slip a digit into each other's pleasure tunnel once in a while? Get off our backs. Not going to stand for it. Respectfully, that's from Jim, and then the last name is Bros. P.S. I can do a plank with no hands or legs touching the ground. Figure that out, Doug.
Jim Bros. Nice gains, bros.
And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. What you got to eat?
I enjoyed a Bhutan ejection, but I'm gonna vote for Jim Bros. Even though it got a little graphic there when he talked about his pleasure tunnel.
I mean, it's a process of elimination. I mean, if you guys don't do better, Miller's going to run away with it again.
You think he's got this one?
Going with Kevin Miller.
I don't know who Kevin Miller is, but I know who Butt Injection is, and he has won the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
Gosh, he's starting to win them all. He's on an incredible run.
Well, nobody's emailing in.
Well, they did. Jim Bros.
People are emailing in. I just
They're
sometimes
not getting into the filtered file.
And I get like people like because I see some complaints like Jackson.
Oh, you get complaints?
Yeah, just like Jackson, just let them through, and it's like I cannot risk the station or my job just because you want to hear some homoerotic tale.
Who sends that in? Adam from Lime.
Yeah. Oh boy, his are brutal. But some people, like, if it's a 50-50 ball, I can't let it through.
No, you can't.
Well, I mean, you don't have Spicy Winter anymore. You don't have, what was the guy that had
Misty Plops?
The two kids, Gunter and...
Gunter?
Sveta and Rokas?
No, the two preppy kids.
Willowbean?
Yeah, Willowbean.
Oh, Beaumont and Prescott?
I mean, you don't have the ones that can beat him anymore. Miller just does the same ones every day.
I need more Shrimply Pibbles.
Yeah, I mean, I would like a day where like 5-6 of the
Well, I mean,
greats.
here's the deal. When we had, what did we give away? Like James Carlton gave away some really good Cardinal tickets. I mean, prizes.
Lemmings Open, I think, had a foursome.
That's what it was. James Carlton's Lemmings Open foursome. That's right, Plowhawk. Doug, the prizes, people rise to the occasion because then, you know what it is? The juice is worth the squeeze.
But that was a one-time daily prize. You know, the email of the day is going to win this.
But even like a $20 gift certificate to a restaurant or something.
Every day?
Sure.
What about the new studio? We can give a 5-minute private session.
Oh, that's right.
Like
We
a
just
free,
let them
like a
go
coupon.
private.
Oh, yeah, where you
for
go
a
private with us?
Free private.
We'd be donating our time.
Donating back to the community.
Donating our bodies?
The shower curtain.
I'll talk
Close
to Jess
yourself
today.
in.
I'll talk to Jess today.
We've got to get that set
Just
up.
go private.
I have a little stool. It's a little stool.
Doug, Loretta Lynn has passed on.
I saw that age 90.
90 bills.
Yeah. Rest her soul.
What's her most famous song? Go.
Is that Stand By Your Man?
That's what I was thinking, but is that Tammy Wynette?
I don't know.
I think it's Tammy Wynette. Has anybody seen My Nurse?
Was she the coal miner's daughter?
Yeah,
So.
I'm looking at her top hits. You Ain't Woman Enough. Fist City.
Fist City?
Wow.
1968.
Damn, yeah, it does sound like they would make 8 porns of that. This city full.
Don't Come Home a Drinkin'.
And is that directed to the head coach of the University of Missouri following the loss at Auburn?
It could be.
Well, that's back when country was country with those titles.
You don't like bro country?
Well, there isn't country.
It's much better today
It's
than
not really
it
country
was.
music anymore.
There's
It's like
no
pop.
country. Yeah, there's no country music. It's
Yes, there is. It's just much better than
it's
it
not.
used to be.
It's not. It's
It is.
it's people from Ladue saying they drive tractors and drink
Shots fired.
Bush beer. Like it's It's a travesty that is called country music. It is
Why is it a
absolutely
travesty? Pop music has evolved, so
it's
has country music.
devastating.
But music is so subjective. Like, that's probably the most subjective
Yes,
art form
there's
there
good
is.
and bad. And this is
Taking
really...
my IP.
Well, people love it more than ever. People love it more than ever when the country artists are some of the biggest selling artists in the history of the world now.
Of course, you have people from Crestwood thinking they're country and they're Hicks when they're not. Like they're
People want to be Hicks.
At no point do I listen to country music and go, man, this is real country. There's no Reba McEntire, Tim McGraw's, Garth Brooks's anymore.
Yes, they're still. All three of them are still performing.
I said people like them. Yes, they're still performing. They're performing at a high level. But Florida, Georgia line, all that crap. These are suburban, never been on a farm in their life, talking about driving John Deeres and drinking a fifth of whiskey and being heartbroken. Give me a break. It's all the same crap.
Well, you don't have to live on a farm to play country music, do you?
No, there ain't no Leanne Rimes anymore. No Rebas.
She's still out there, too. How about Luke Bryan, Zach Brown, Kenny Chesney? Do they?
You mean the guys
count?
that get like liposuction and Botox before they get on stage? Yeah, real country. Woo.
Are you sure they've gotten liposuction?
I'm kidding. I have no idea. I just don't like the genre anymore as much as I did in the 90s.
Well, okay. It sounds still pretty similar to the 90s. Loretta Lynn, you're going way back now to when most people didn't care for country music. It was just a small little speck on the music scene.
Fist City. God, I love that title.
It's not a bad one.
We'll talk more Fist City coming up on Balloon Party. What's on the agenda for Pepper and Genie today, gentlemen?
We'll have a quick one. We got a rabies sound story, 10:30. We don't. I mean, I have a
rabies sound story.
I do. He was confused why he got it, but he's excited about it.
Doug, if the people wanted to order it, he is on the website.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Maybe he's got a personal connection to the person.
I don't know, but he's excited about it. So yeah, we have a sound story 10:30. Probably break down House of Dragons since I didn't watch it
I didn't
watch it yesterday.
Well, I watched it. I didn't watch it over the weekend to break it down on Monday.
Are you enjoying the show, or are you just watching it for Pepper and Genie?
I think half and half. I think I know it's going to get good, but certainly it's a.
Iggy, you enjoying it?
It's a slow burn. Iggy doesn't.
Is that right?
Yes, I can't. I'm doing it because we talk about it on Monday. Yeah. But I mean, if something doesn't happen here soon, I mean, nothing's happening. It's 45 minutes Sunday of just dialogue, and then at the end, a couple of kids fought. That's it.
Save that take.
Save that take. Yeah, it's coming up on Pepper and Genie. Jackson and I down the hallway on Balloon Party 101 ESPN. You can text in or leave your mic drop 65780 or use the 101 ESPN app for the Plowhawk, for Action Jackson, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn. I'm Tim McKernan. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios, closing out our Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour.
KPNT